Salov now in the high slot. His quick shot, he scores! Nikolai Salov! Oh my goodness! Some bomb right hands in front of the Dasher bench. Pulls his helmet off, still goal. Now Juwan Davis. His first shot, he scored! Juwan Davis. Circle to his backhand, moving in, he scored! Blake Sewardson, how you doing? Firing up the crowd. Zach Horn in all alone with a breakaway. Walks in, shoots, scores! Zach Horn! Towards the goal, shoots, he scores! Bogdan Zinchenko restores the lead. That second of the season goes over the top of the right. A couple more rights to Greco, takes him down and pounds him. Zinchenko with a couple over the top. He's got him against the glass. Bogdan Zinchenko, a healthy diet of rights. My songs know what you did in the dark. My songs know what you did in the dark. So light 'em up. Murphy scores! Brosnan who shoots, he scores! Justin Brosnan, the captain.
Take a hit, shoot me down, shoot me down. I won't ever hit the ground, hit the ground. Playing dead I'll never do. Gotta keep an eye on you. Patience is wearing thin, paper thin. Promises broke again. What a sin, but it only feeds my energy. So don't expect no sympathy. Smoke, fire, it's all going up. Don't you know I ain't afraid to shed a little blood? Smoke, fire, flares are going up, flares are going up. Oh, won't wave my white flag, no. This time I won't let go. I'd rather die
Did anyone get any sleep last night? I know I didn't. It was a long night for us. What a hockey game we had last night. The Dashers take it in a shootout, 7-6. Ilner Matyarov, 5 goals. Andrew Turrell, 5 assists. It was an incredible game, and Parker Rutherford in the shootout stops all 3 shots that he faced. Hello, everybody. I'm your man. I'm your friend, Devin Dobeck, along with you with my broadcast team, Lincoln Mackin on the camera, Carson Brown, my producer. We're excited to get going here. It was a fun, hotly contested affair last night that ended with all kinds of dramatics here inside the David S. Palmer Arena. Tonight, 30-plus years of experience at the public address station. Tom Barnes makes his swan song, his final game as the public address announcer inside the David S. Palmer Arena. An emotional night for him. We're excited to hear him get into it a few more times here. But yeah, just an incredible evening of hockey. Nick Gullo going up against the Dashers once again. Tim Delaney scored against his former team last night for the Dashers. It really was a fun game. Motor City needs 2 points to punch their ticket to the 2025 Commissioner's Cup and travel out to Watertown for that play-in game. So the Dashers trying to play spoiler for the second night in a row. We're going to see exactly how all that plays out in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss it right here on the Dashers Hockey Network.
Remember, no one, and I mean no one, comes into our house and pushes us around. Let's get a
Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the David S. Palmer Arena and the Julius W. Hexler Second Ice Center for FPHL action as the Motor City Rockers take on your Dashers. Let's get our starting lineup for your Dashers. At defense from Fresno, California, number 2, Jacob Gagnon. Also in defense from Thompson, Manitoba, number 83, Nathan Malott. And forward from Greensboro, North Carolina, number 9, Zach Horn. And forward from Little Canada, Minnesota, number 88, Justin Bronson. And it's forward from Carson, Ontario, number 94, Justin Lamont. And starting at goal from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 31, Parker Rutherford. And now bring out the rest of your Dashers. The head coach of the Dashers is Paul McLean. Trainer is Anna Mitchell. Assistant trainer Scott Mitchell. Equipment manager Matt Musgrove. Your Utah team flag bearers on the ice tonight. Brody Mornout, Owen Mornout, and Braden Kingor. At this time, we ask all fans in attendance to please rise as you are able. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem tonight performed on the ice by Mr. Bruce Ford.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of
It's Hockey Night Live from Danville, Illinois. One last time. I'm your man, Devin Novak, along with you with Carson Brown, my producer, and Lincoln Mackin on the camera. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the Motor City Rockers. They go with that top unit of Sam Gagnon, along with Chris Corrigan and Corey Checo. Jamison Milam, the player, head coach, and assistant captain, is paired with Cody Oakes, the other assistant captain for the Rockers, on defense. Rico Gonzalez retakes his place in between the pipes. And then over on the other side of things, it's that really lethal top unit of Mo Levac centering Justin Brausen, the captain, and Zach Horn on the right wing. Nathan Malott and Jacob Gagnon make up the defensive pair, and Parker Rutherford is in between the pipes. Now let's take a quick look while we have an extra minute at our tail of the tape. The Dashers pick up their third win of the season. What a win it was last night, 7-6 to snap their 5-game slide. Motor City, 3.2 goals per game, 2.3 for the Dashers, a -63 goal differential versus a -187 for the Dashers. 22.5% on the power play, just about doubling the Dashers, 11.1%. 81.9% PK versus 66.8% for the Dashers. The fifth best team in the Empire versus the seventh. The last dance of 7 games between these two teams. Empire Division rivals, the Dashers, picked up the most recent win last night. As I mentioned, Motor City credited with the shootout loss, but all they need is 2 points, which is an overtime win here tonight to succeed in punching their ticket to the 2025 playoffs. All that and more coming up. While we have an extra couple seconds here, earlier today I found out that someone I grew up with, played baseball with, would play around the house with, and passed away tragically. His name's Joe Baxter. So this broadcast is for Joe, up there playing on God's team now, wishing the best to him and all of his family during this difficult time and wishing them strength. Definitely was tough to find out about a couple hours before the game, but Joe, this one's for you, brother. Underway here inside the David S. Palmer Arena. Zach Horn over on the blue line tries to chop it out to center. Jamison Milam takes a few swings at it, gets tied up with the stick of Mo Levac. Levac scored his first goal as a member of the Dashers on Friday night, the second goal in period 3 of that affair. Out to the point, here's Oakes loading up to shoot. Gagnon right in front of Rutherford, but good rebound control there allows that to end exactly where he catches it. Both teams will get a full change out. Quick shifts here to begin the hockey game. Final home game for the Dashers, a good crowd. Last night, the crowd was hovering around 650, but they were loud in a hotly contested affair, on their seats, banging, chanting. It was a really cool environment here, something we haven't experienced too much since opening night. We got a little taste of it in the Watertown series, but Dashers fans know how that ended last weekend. Hunter Hall, who tied the game with 1 minute and 6 seconds left last night, turns over this puck in the offensive zone. It's iced by Lucas Rothy, the Dashers assistant captain. And we'll go back down to Rutherford's end of things at the west end of our arena. Last home broadcast here. We mentioned Tom Barnes, the public address announcer of 30-plus years. He's worked for several teams over the course of that run, but his final game as the big voice inside the Dave here. So congratulations to Tom. There's going to be a second intermission ceremony for him, so we're going to keep it on the ice so the fans can take that in. But should be a pretty cool moment and experience. Area pass on over to Matthias Tellstrom. Tellstrom's been an assist machine in this weekend. Josh Colton, the captain of the Motor City Rockers, picked up his team-high 11th power play goal last night. Sends it in deep. Rutherford swats it back on over to Sean Doyle. Sean Doyle, the rookie, just hit double-digit professional games. Doyle, a native of Naples, Florida, 27 years old. 2022 graduated from Concordia University in Wisconsin at the ACHA Division II level, as Rutherford makes another glove save on Mac Diver's drive from the point. Quinn O'Reilly glides out onto the ice, gives a little term of endearment to Diver on the way out. Of course, those two were in the mix of a lot of different physical play on Friday night. Colton and Sneath and Matyarov will take this one. Ilner Matyarov with 4 goals in regulation last night and then had the shootout winner. He was the first to go for the Dashers, and they fed the hot hand. Picking up his 5th goal of the contest, it was the difference maker when you pair that with Parker Rutherford's perfect 3 for 3 with the Rockers going against him. Of course, it wouldn't be drama-free. Hitting the crossbar was Eli Rivers, the second shooter. It actually went bar down, but somehow didn't go in. Bar out. O'Reilly, a little trouble handling it just outside the blue line. He's going to run down McGill Diaz, who's able to float it over the near side. Madyarov looking to center. Gets run into the wall by Diver. Down low, nice hit by Andrew Utero. Another guy, 5 assists, a new career high in points for him last night. He was exceptional for the Dashers. He picks it up here in the O-zone. McGill Diaz bumps him off the puck. Utero dancing in the wraparound, goes in front. Madyarov couldn't find a way to bury it. And now a stretch pass over the near side. It's Gagnon. Sliding it over to the middle. Quick shot. Misses on the far side. Good release from Corey Checo there. He picked up his second goal as a Rocker recently. Justin Brazen on over to Andrew Utero. Brazen surprised by his parents. Dan and Lisa pregame last night. An emotional evening for the Brazen family. And Brazen scored the goal to make it 5-4 Dashers late in the third. It was really a cinematic night wearing those historic orange uniforms. Pass through the middle. Corgan couldn't find a way to get it on goal. Comes all the way back out to the point for Jamison Milam. 40 years young. 3-time ECHL All-Star. He's been exceptional for Motor City ever since joining them 3 seasons ago. Cody Oakes will slow things down back behind the safety of Rico Gonzalez's cage. Gonzalez, 6 foot 187 out of Davison, Michigan. 27 years old. Comes in with a record of 12-17, 0-2. Save percentage just above .910. Hall, a couple quick flurries in on Rutherford. Down low, it's Jacob Gagnon. Played 23 games with the Quad City Storm before returning last weekend to play against the Watertown Wolves with the Dashers. Played 21 games in Danville before going to Quad. As back across the blue line. Here's Hall to the middle, holding and shooting, and Rutherford frantically sliding over to his right makes another brilliant save. This is how a lot of the games have started here this weekend, of course. This is the third affair between these two in the past 3 days. But Motor City quickly comes out hot. They get the pressure, they get the offense, but that's when the Dashers turn it on about 5 to 10 minutes into period 1. So far, the shot's 5-1 in favor of the Rockers. Warm welcome to all of our Motor City Rockers fans joining our telecast here. I know Brady Beaton is probably your preferred voice, but happy to have you along with myself, Devin Dobeck here. As there's a chance for Gullo on the far side. He missed the net. Golden opportunity for him. Sewardson sends it in on Gonzalez, who pads it away. Out to the point, kicked in by Sean Doyle. Good effort from him at the blue line. Prexler wraps it back around the wall. First one there is the Michigan native Blake Sewardson. Graduated from Western Michigan University, where he played ACHA hockey before turning pro and joining the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Dumped into the near side corner. Tim Delaney back over to his former teammate Eli Rivers. Sneath to the point. McGill Diaz. D to Diver. Diver's shot goes well wide. The rebound hard off the wall, but Sneath couldn't control it. And now it's Sewardson. Finding another gear, enters across the blue line. Prexler shoots. Save made by Gonzalez, and it goes up and into the netting. 15:08 to go here, period 1. And maybe a little bit of pushing and shoving after the fact as well. We've only had one fight in the weekend. That was Quinn O'Reilly and Nick McGill Diaz over in front of the Dasher bench. Kind of just a frantic penalty there. Rivers jawing with Blake Sewardson. The referees are going to come break up that conversation. Sewardson laughing at him as he trots through the bench. Officials tonight, Tony Hoyles and Jordan Krabel are the referees. Gabe Kuffel and David Gora are the linesmen. Believe that's the same crew as last night, but different from Friday. Face-off controlled by the Rockers here. Across the 15-minute mark here from Danville. This one goes way up into the rafters. And when it comes down, it'll lead to our first media timeout. Still no score between the Dashers and the Rockers. We're ready to get going here. Final home game from Danville. Back in a few.
Nuts About Bolts is a family and locally owned hardware store that has been open since 2015. Offering a wide range of products, they have the missing piece for your next project. If they don't have what you're looking for in stock, they can happily order it for you. Nuts About Bolts offers delivery services with no minimum purchase amount required. They take pride in their prices and friendly service. First-time customers get 10% off their first purchase. Additionally, Nuts About Bolts accepts returns up to 30 days after your purchase. They are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can call at 217-516-3186 or visit them at 812 Warrington Avenue in Danville to learn more. Nuts About Bolts is a proud sponsor of Dashers Hockey.
This is no ordinary cup. This Scooter's coffee cup was served with a genuine so good to see you again smile. This cup has a little boost of energy just for you. This cup came with extra whip for good luck.
We lost!
You'll get them next time. This Scooter's coffee cup was made by your favorite barista for her favorite customer. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Scoot on around.
One click under 15 minutes as we're back underway here. Period one, Devin Doback, Carson Brown, and Lincoln Mackin along with you. We're your broadcast team here tonight, as we have been just about the entirety of the season. Lincoln and Carson joined a couple weeks in, and they have really grown and developed. It's been a pleasure seeing these guys and watching their talents unfold before us. Huge shout out to all of their help making our broadcast run smoother. But definitely some guys behind the scenes that deserve just as much of the credit as anyone else in this organization. Matyarov climbing to take the face-off against Sam Gagnon, the Westfield State University graduate back in 2019. Gagnon attended Franklin Pierce University after his time at Westfield from 2019-2020. Actually was an assistant coach there very briefly around COVID, then decided to return to professional hockey, joined the Port Huron Prowlers for 2 seasons, and now goes about 40 minutes west, I believe, to join the Motor City Rockers. It's now Corey Checco, almost turned it over at the blue line. It's knocked away by Matyarov. This has been the line that has worked. O'Reilly, Matyarov, and Uturo. Ian Erdman, quick shot in, turned aside by Gonzalez. Erdman back around the wall, first one there in the corners. Uturo on his backhand, shields the puck and tried to play it back for O'Reilly, taken away, and here comes Gagnon. Backhand flip into the offensive zone. First one there is Chris Corgan, former Monroe Moccasin, playing against his former head coach, Mo Levac. Miguel Diaz back on the far side for Checco. Quick shot from Gagnon, still loose outside the blue paint. Corgan wants a call. Rutherford trying to find the puck, and Uturo eventually rescues it and will lead the breakout back from north to south. Actually from west to east if we want to get technical. As now that one goes up and into the netting, and we're going to get another whistle and a face-off here. 13:50 remaining in that first period. Dashers on their third head coach, it's Paul McLean. Picked up his second win last night, which is more than A.J. Tesserero and Steve Esau. Tesserero, of course, won the home opener as the head skipper for the Dashers. And then things got tough. Brazen's quick shot blocked down, and now here comes Hunter Hall the other way. Malott banks it out into the neutral zone to Zach Horn, over to Mo Levac. Levac to Brazen, looking for Horn. Horn shoots. Oh, what a save, Gonzalez. That was a beautiful executed 3-on-2 by Levac to Brazen, and then Horn. But unfortunately, they come up empty. Back the other way come the Rockers. Hall bumped into by Malott. Malott quickly becoming one of the top 2 defensemen on this Dasher team. You throw him up there with Jacob Gagnon, of course. But those two have started each of the last 2 nights in addition to tonight, and really have been a huge part of the back end for the Dashers. Brazen dumps it in deep. Levac is going to have to touch up back on side. Rockers back the other way. Good turnover forced by Blake Sewardson. Spins it over to his assistant captain counterpart in Rothy. Back to Sewardson. And it's blocked down by Colton. Colton shaking out that left leg now as his team repossesses the puck. Banked off the wall. It finds its way to TJ Sneath. Over to Nick Gullo on his backhand. Tried to center it for Sneath again and got run into the wall by Sean Doyle. Couple extra shifts for Sean Doyle here early on, and he's made the most of it. Brexler on goal. Save made Gonzalez. Sewardson back down low. Nobody home to help on the forecheck side of things. Here come the Rockers once again. Gullo catching up to the loose change. Will dump it in deep past Doyle. Tim Delaney, former teammate, meets him in the corner there. Prexler now gets tied up with Sneath, and now Rothy's got it. Lucas Rothy, another Michigan native, over to TJ Prexler. Prexler from British Columbia has the shot go in on goal. Now down low, Gullo fishes it out of the woodwork. On over to McGill Diaz. Slides it across to Eli Rivers. Eli Rivers hit the crossbar, as I mentioned earlier, in the second round of last night's shootout, but he's been a huge part of the offense for Motor City. Actually took a 5-minute major for slashing last night in the back of the leg of Quinn O'Reilly after O'Reilly tipped him over on the far wall. Rivers took exception to it, thinking maybe it was a little bit of a dirty hit, and then went and buried O'Reilly's right leg. He was okay, of course, but it led to a 5-minute power play. Motor City actually was the one who benefited from that man advantage, though. Short-handed goal. I believe it was Brendan Ronan, who also had a career night. Haven't seen much of Ronan yet, but 3 goals for him. Also had a breakaway in overtime with the game on his stick. And that would have been pretty storybook for Rockers fans. Of course, the Dashers found a way to prevail, but Ronan, who had a career night after having just 1 goal as a Rocker, one-timer goes just by on the far side. And then Ronan had a shootout chance as well, but certainly was his hottest game as a professional hockey player. Worcester State University alum. Now down low, quick pass across to Tellstrom. The former SPHL veteran can't make the save. It goes back in off the glove of Rutherford. Milam to the middle. The shot is turned aside. There's Brendan Ronan sitting right between the circles. Gets it back and shoots. Rutherford off the crest on the chest. Makes the save. Ronan's backhander deflected off by Matyarov, and the Dashers will try and start things the other way. O'Reilly gets locked up with Milam. No call from the officials. It goes back over to Hall. 10:15 to go here in the first period. Holding and shooting. Rutherford uses that X-ray to track it down and gloves it. We'll get set for another face-off just about halfway through period 1. Motor City with 18 wins this season. 5th in the Empire Division. 2 points away from a playoff berth. They've got Port Huron for a pair next weekend. So the Venom are going to have to get ridiculously hot if they want to find a way. They basically need to win out at this point if they want to find a way. But, of course, there's a bunch of math that will open up down the stretch. And win percentage with the Venom currently only having scheduled 54 games. Rivers to the middle. Sneath tries to track it back on down. O'Reilly out of the zone. On over for Blaisdell. Blaisdell, one of his first touches, back to Jacob Gagnon, over to Zach Horn on the stretch pass off the wall. Horn gives it right back on over to Checo, to the stick of Malott, floats it over to Gagnon. Gagnon way up into the air once again, dumps it in deep, and now him and Nick Gullo get tied up on the wall. Sneath banks it out of the zone. Tim Delaney in a foot race with Chris Corrigan. Tie up of the stick of Sean Doyle, but it looks like the referee's hands in the air, and we're going to get another whistle. And our second media timeout. N10 action here, 9:20 remaining in period 1. We'll step aside and be back. No score from Danville.
You want one?
Yeah,
want one?
Cool. A Riggs Brewing Co. Dasher IPL, locally brewed in Illinois.
Ooh, can I try? Juicy.
Only $6 at the Dasher games.
Ooh, I would never buy another beer at the Dashers game other than that one.
Me neither.
Hey! Get him! Get him! Hey!
I could get used to this.
Oh, yeah. Hey!
Just like a Dasher's goal, everyone loves a Dasher's IPL.
By Riggs Beer Company.
And we welcome you back. Devin Dobeck, Carson Brown, and Lincoln Mackin along with you. Another hockey night in Danville, our final one of the regular season. Dashers open things up all the way back on October the 25th of 2024. Played about 24 home games, including tonight's affair, and Granted, you look at the record and you think, wow, that must have been, a tough ride for this team. But all kinds of ups and downs, competitive hockey, and I think one of the most important things is that this group is tight-knit. They get along, they like playing with each other, and they're in it for the long haul. Corgan off the blocker of Rutherford. Rothy with a nice hit on Chris Corgan the other way. 2-on-2 over to Delaney. Delaney lost it in transition. Gives it back on over to Corey Checo, who finds Blaisdell to the tape of Corgan. A little hot on the pass that time. Corgan regathers and gets it to Colton. Stretching the other way to Sam Gagnon. Gets around Delaney, tied up, forehand, shoots, and Rutherford makes the save. But it looks like Tim Delaney is going to get ready for his third first period penalty of the weekend. Had one on Friday, of course, that led to a power play goal. Had one last night that led to a power play goal. We'll see if that precedent holds true here tonight. But, of course, you're always playing with that extra edge, that extra gusto. Delaney just a little too stick happy there, and he's going to go for a hook. So it opens up the door for our first Carnegie Dumpstar penalty kill. Mo Levac, Zach Slinger, along with Ian Erdman and Zach Horn make up the first penalty kill unit that Paul McLean elects to go with. Referee's taking a moment to drop the puck. Levac ties it up, and eventually the Dashers will be the first ones there. Erdman trying to backhand it out of the zone, didn't get much on it. Colton goes back down low. It was actually a hold that they gave to Tim Delaney. So not a stick infraction after all. Another Dashers penalty kill here. Tom Barnes, you're going to miss hearing that voice in this arena. You think Danville hockey, Tom Barnes is among one of the things that comes to mind almost immediately. 30-plus years, and now doing his final game. Colton, power play goals leader for the Rockers, has his shot blocked down from the top of the key. Over on the left wing now, through the far circle. Back behind the goal to Hall. Over to Josh Colton once again, stapled into the boards by Zach Slinger. Slinger looking to bounce the puck free. Goes on over to Zach Horn. Zach Horn trying to pass it to Levac, but instead it glances off a skate back down the full 200 feet and ends up working out. Blaisdell for Sneath across the blue line. Dumped on in. Sewardson below the end line, picks it up first and will send it once again down the lane. Blake Sewardson, under the reign of Steve Esau, transformed that penalty kill unit. Of course, it's been a kryptonite for the Dashers all season long. But Blake helped make some changes, and it has been definitely trending in the right direction as of late. Jumanji forcing it just to the top, but not out. Golo closes in and shoots, and Rutherford takes one away with the glove from his former roommate. As I mentioned, Golo and Parker Rutherford were roommates when Golo was in Danville earlier this season. They also had a third roommate, Nick Golo's girlfriend, Sid Lotzinger. Apologies if I mispronounce it, but shout out to Sid watching back in Detroit. Hope all is well with you, and definitely looking forward. I hear you guys are coming to the Cape, which is my stomping grounds out in Massachusetts this summer, so that will be fun to reconnect. But hope you're doing well, Sid. Back to the action now. It's TJ Sneath on to Milam, down below the end line. Comes out to Nick Golo. On over for McGill Diaz. Quickly, slap pass for Rivers, forcing it down low to Milam. Out to Golo again at the hash, shoots, and he missed the net. Goes all the way out to Rivers at the left point. Down low to Milam, picks it up off the wall. Tried a low angle, Rutherford the save. Bodies flying everywhere, another rebound, and Rivers missed the net. Throws his head to the heavens in disbelief. Down in a lot of pain is Nathan Malott, grimacing in a ton of pain. He's going to head off to the bench, very ginger on that left leg. Hockey players are tough customers, but it definitely might be a few shifts off for Nathan Malott, the Thompson, Manitoba native. Gagnon back across the blue line. Inside 6 minutes to play here in period one. Another quick shot, and Rutherford holds on to that one. And we'll get ready for another face-off. Ilner Madiarov, who was the story last night. Of course, Justin Brozin night, so everybody had their focus on him. But Ilner Madiarov, who has a dozen pro games under his belt. Had a 5-goal night last night. Really was impressive. Had a first period natural hat trick. 3 goals in that opening frame. It really was a fun 20 minutes in Danville. Colton gets by Madiarov. Back over to Josh Colton, who gets it down low. Gagnon trying to go short side, and Rutherford slams that door shut. Out to Blaisdell. Almost went all the way through back to the Rocker end. Instead, they're able to keep possession. Down to Erdman. It's been a lot of Rockers here in this first period, but still nothing on the scoreboard. Madiarov almost forced a turnover at the blue line. That would have been a breakaway for him. Rutherford, another big save, still loose, and it's flipped over the goal by Corgan. Hard off the window. Slinger is able to send it on out. First period shots are 19-8 in favor of the Rockers. Parker Rutherford has been sharp early on, knock on wood. As I've realized that things I say have a lot more power than I anticipate, especially with the Jinx. As this one's ice, 4:52 to go. This will be our final media timeout of period 1. Still nothing on the scoreboard, 0-0. Rockers, Dashers, the 7th and final time this season. We'll be back in a few moments.
Evergreen Roadworks is a blend of Champagne Asphalt, Ileana Construction, pavement maintenance systems, and ProTac asphalt spraying experts with roots dating back to 1946. Together, they leverage their expertise to expand their capabilities and provide enhanced services to all of their valued customers. Evergreen Roadworks is a trusted brand who prides themselves on healthy business relationships and a safety-first mindset. They have a proven legacy, supported by quality that lasts, and will continue to find new ways to improve their technology to leave both new and current customers satisfied. Evergreen Roadworks' consideration for one another has a lasting positive impact, ensuring their influence resonates long after the asphalt cools. For more information, email info@evergreenroadworks.com or call 217-356-7288.
.451 to go. We'll take a quick look at the only other game in the FPHL happening on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. That's the Watertown Wolves on top of the Baton Rouge Zydeco down at the Raising Cane's River Center, 4-3. That game in period 2. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the course of tonight's action. Of course, Baton Rouge, with the Monroe loss last night, punched their ticket, so the Continental playoff picture is set. The Zydeco with that 5th spot locked up. Now they're just battling to see if they're going to Virginia or the Bobcats are going to Louisiana. So only one more playoff spot up for grabs, and that is that 5th spot in the Empire, which almost certainly so will be taken by the Rockers, but who knows? Crazier things have happened in the Fed. Back to Zach Horn, across the blue line to Levac. Tiptoeing, lost it, back in his skates, now pins it up against the wall, waiting for help. Gets it in his friend and roommate, Justin Brazen. Levac at the blue line, feeds it, but on over to Blaisdell, and now Cody Oakes, in his 2nd game back from his 1-game suspension, finds it back for Blaisdell. Levac cuts off Hunter Hall, and it goes down low to Tim Delaney. 4 minutes and 12 seconds remain here in period 1. Zach Horn. Bank pass for Levac. Touches it through his legs over the blue line. Stops, surveys. Now gets tied up. Takes a few slashes from Jamison Milam. Delaney over for Rothy. At the dot, down low. Tried to get it to Horn, and it went through his skates. Bangs his stick to the ice in frustration. Rothy pokes it through the madness. Levac looks like he's going to head off for a change momentarily. Instead, we'll finish this quick little spurt before he heads for the bench. Cody Oakes gains control of the line. Shielding on his backhand, hits the brakes. Nathan Millott is back out there after that block shot. Another slap shot. Goes wide that time. Over to Oakes on the far wall. Banged in by Millott, who quickly sweeps it to Prexler. Back over to Sewardson. Sewardson off the leg of Rothy. Gets it into the zone, but it's turned over to Nick McGill-Diaz. McGill-Diaz played in his 100th FPHL game on Friday night. Congratulations to Nick. He has been an absolute force to reckon with against the Dashers this season. And now 6 games played against them. He's got just about 10 assists. Out to Mac Diver. Diver shoots, and that one found a way off the post. Still loose. Golo digs at it. He throws his arms up to say he scored, but there's a whistle, and it looks like Rutherford is going to be granted the save, but we'll have to see if the refs want to take another look at it. Gullo threw up the Rocky arms. He scored in both Friday and Saturday's contests against the Dashers. Last night opened the scoring rather quickly, about 66 seconds in. But up to 4 goals now as a Rocker, had 5 with the Dashers to go along with 9 assists before joining the Peoria Rivermen. And now having his rights traded to Motor City, returns, and he's been pretty much a point-per-game guy for them ever since. Played in his 200th professional game a couple weeks ago, and now closing in on 170 FPHL games. Another great milestone for the 5'3" Penfield, New York native. Such a joy to have around the rink, of course. He had the chance to catch up with a lot of the regulars, season ticket holders, the boosters. All very happy to see number 94 back at home, a place where he spent parts of 4 seasons, 3 with the Dashers, of course the team he made his professional debut with, and then 1 year with the VC Bobcats. Rivers over to Sneath. Sneath walks it to the middle, and Rutherford, sprawling all around, somehow keeps it out. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Rivers shoots through traffic. Rutherford, another big-time save. There's Gullo having it taken away by Jacob Gagnon, his former neighbor. On over to Malott. Malott stretching it out. Handcuffed Ilner Madiarov, and the puck is all of a sudden from Gullo for Rivers. Closing in, shoots. Rutherford off the face, makes another big save. O'Reilly wasn't ready for that feed. Recovers, gets it to Madiarov. Over the line, drop pass for Uturo. He shoots, and it deflects up and into the netting with 101 seconds to go in the period. Shots are 23-8 in favor of the Motor City Rockers. They're certainly finding a way to pepper Rutherford. Dashers have not found a response on the offensive side, but still no blood, no foul here. Motor averaging 3.2 goals per game, the Dashers 2.3. Two teams that have struggled on the offensive side, but you wouldn't know that by watching the games this weekend. 8-2 Motor won on Friday, and the Dashers 7-6 last night. Brazen with a hit on the other side. Now Gagnon walks in, shoots. That one Rutherford's going to have to pounce on in order to get another quick whistle. And fittingly, 88 seconds remaining in period 1 with Brazen out there on the ice. Justin Brazen, one of 2 Commissioner's Cup champions still on this Dashers roster. The other, of course, is the assistant captain, Mo Levac. Well, in 2017 was the assistant captain, I should say. Brad Denny, the captain of that 2017 championship team. He was out on the ice with Brazen for his big day yesterday. A really cool moment. Shot goes intentionally wide, out over to Colton behind the goal. Goes over to Chris Corrigan. Levac poking at it through a few sticks, and Rutherford's able to locate it once again and makes another big save. One minute and 9 seconds to go. Of course, those dreaded late goals and early goals in the final 2 minutes or so of respective periods are the most deflating. So we'll see if one team can put the fire on the other before we head back to the locker room for the 7th time of the weekend. Zach Horn through the charging deer at center ice, gains the line, slows things down, surveys, and he's got Justin Brazen at the circle. He shoots, he hit the post, takes a funky bounce out to the middle, but no Dashers home. It doesn't matter what kind of angle Justin Brazen has. He's a lethal goal scorer. Picked up his 11th goal last night. That made it 5-4 as that one goes way up and out of play over towards Scott and Jessica Mitchell in the far corner. Scott, of course, the in-game and in-venue host here at the David S. Palmer Arena, runs the intermission games. He has done a tremendous job this season. Huge shout out to him. He's also an EMT on standby. The trainer, Anna Mitchell, of course, daughter of Jessica, and Scott is the team trainer. Huge shout out to her for everything she's done this season. And Jessica, the general manager of the Dashers Hockey Club. looking on in anticipation. Great win that everybody was rewarded with last night in the shootout. Milam gives it over to Tellstrom, trying to find Ronan. Ronan has his stick lifted, and Sewardson takes away the puck through the neutral zone. Back for TJ Prexler, on over to Sewardson. Back behind the goal, takes it to his backhand. One-timer from Rothie is held by Gonzalez. Lucas Rothie had the whole Rothie clan in the house last night. I lost track of counting because there were so many Rothies in the house, but fittingly so, on Friday night scored his first goal since January 18th against the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Takes down Hunter Hall that time. Rothies are not in the house tonight, but shout out to them wherever they're listening from, maybe back home in Michigan. As now Prexler forces a turnover in the offensive end. Wheels around the circle, protecting on his backhand. Inside 10 seconds to go here. Prexler banks it back out of the zone inadvertently, and Gagnon will probably skate out the remaining 3 seconds. Slams on the brakes to get away from Hall, and he's just going to bleed out the final couple ticks here of period one. The Rockers dominate the offensive zone time, but we're still scoreless. Parker Rutherford, the story tonight, shots 24-9 in favor of the Rockers. But we still got 40 more minutes of action here from inside the David S. Palmer Arena. Still anybody's contest. We're going to step aside for about 18 short minutes and be back for period two action right here on the Dashers Hockey Network.
This is Parker Rutherford, and this is Dashers Mic'd Up. Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to stay on. Yeah, I'm coming for you, Sal. All day. Man, I'm so glad I don't have to pay attention to these girls. Stop puck. That's all I got. Stop puck. I don't know who's starting. There we go. All right. Oh, thank you. Come on. You scumbag. He never shoots that. He's only doing it because he knows I have a microphone on. Head high. Thank you. Marshall, you can't hit me in the face today. I will not. See that expensive piece on me. I'm so sorry. I never do that again. I apologize. Devin would kill you. I know. I got you. I'm going to go mess with Sal. Watch this. Oh, yeah. You're not scoring with that finger, right? There's no way. You're not scoring either. I'll let you have that. That guy is so strong. Yanks, you got anything to say to the people? Like you love your wife? You love your wife? Yeah. You got that. That's your wife. Easy peasy. Push up. Push up. Nope, not goals. Nope, not goals. Woo! Nope. 94 is not scoring today. Anymore.
You did walk in bottom of the circle.
You should have shot it, Sal. No way.
Got that short side, open up the face of the blade.
He told me it wasn't happening today. His finger's too sore.
That's every day now. Fingers sore, his eyelashes hurt.
See, the good thing about playing goalie, you really don't have to pay attention to the drills. Just don't get scored on. Don't get scored on. It's a lonely position. You're going to hear a lot of random thoughts today. Just warning you in advance. I'm not weird, just a goalie. Same thing. We rescued a cat yesterday. Named it Scooter.
You participated in Chino last night or what?
I definitely participated in the Chino.
How was it cold at Bronx?
I went up $5 at Brazos, and then I lost 30 at the Chino.
Silver nugget?
The silver, no. It's I think they call it the palms or something. I don't like putting all these in the net. Not a fan. Oop. I'm way too OCD for this. They're all going to be against the back. Okay, I'm ready. Yep. Oh, I got it! Yeah! He's not hearing the end of that one when we get home. Not hearing the end of that. Yep. Yeah.
Somebody almost scored.
Just for Sal. Going for a skate. Nobody usually talks to me that much. I wonder why they're doing it today. Weird. They usually don't shoot that high either. Crazy. I really hope he doesn't dump this hard. Oh, please. Here we go. Come. All yours. Did you see that pass? On the backhand from my knees. Gotta go for a skate. Work on the edges. Because what else are we gonna do right now? Hi, guy. Nope. What a save by the D. No way! He was eating cookies for breakfast today. Dropped the ball in the parking lot on the way in. And ate him. And still ate him. What a freak. Sal's going high. 100% going high. He never goes glove. Never goes glove. Bo, your gloves are untied. That was a good one. I mean, I kind of look like a giant pumpkin out here. No way. Oh, you scumbag. Never goes 5-hole. I wonder what time Devin wakes up to do his hair every morning. Oh, I'm tired. I really miss Scooter. We're taking a good old walk around the apartments yesterday. Found a cat stuck in a tree. Tried to go down and get it. Decided to just climb down the second we started going down.
Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas, everybody, and hope we get a win for the Devil Dash Hockey Club.
There we go. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad. What do you guys say to the people?
Come to our next home game.
There we go. Nothing. I want some strawberries. Nothing.
This is ASMR.
Mon's just so confused right now. Oscar has such a nice accent. Most accents really annoy me, but I love Oscar's. Love it. Look at the size comparison between Goals and Oscar. He usually makes me feel pretty bad. I think that's worse. I live rent-free in these guys' heads. Okay. Gotcha, you eggs. How Kimmy has such disgusting moves on the shootout. I gotta do something stupid. Did I get it? Yeah, I got it. Thank you. So he's a nice guy. Go up behind the back. Nope. I got it. Right off the toe. Don't look at me like that. I know you want it. That wasn't fair and you know it. But I taught him a move yesterday. But I didn't teach you everything. I'm fat and tired. Give me a break. Get that on camera. Putting that everywhere. Scorpion. Get out of here. There we go. Okay. Yep. Never hear the end of that one. Come on, boss. Oh boy. He knows. I deserve that. Oh.
Honestly, when's the last time Devin won at the casino?
I can't remember the last time.
I think he's funding that place right now.
He's basically just a charity. That's a big save, though. I don't know who lost, but I'm exhausted. You're lucky I'm fat and tired.
Hey, we're love our goalies. We're ready to die for them every single night.
Feliz Navidad on 3. 1, 2, 3. Feliz Navidad!
In the darkness, collide in the night. I was heartless until my soul came to life, and I feel it now. Want this forever, and I feel it now. You make me shiver. Can you feel it now? Want this forever, and I feel it now.
Scarably comes, oh, Murphy, a couple of big left hands. He has just unloaded some cannons.
And I feel it now. Want this forever. Can you feel it now? You make me shiver. I'm longing, pull me closer to you. In this moment, we get lost in this room, and I feel it now. Want this forever, and I feel it now. You make me shiver. And I feel it now. Want this forever. Can you feel it now?
He scores! Brandon Storchevsky's first. Couldn't have come at a better time.
Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now?
Brown over the top. Now trying to grab him. Buster Brown takes down.
And I feel it now. You make me shiver. And I feel it now. Want this forever. Can you feel it
Make
now?
a move in front. Quick shot. Brosnan. Bar down. He scores. That's number 200. Justin Brosnan's done it. Quick shots all up. He scores.
Take a hit, shoot me down, shoot me down. I won't ever hit the ground, hit the ground. Playing dead I'll never do. Gotta keep an eye on you. Patience is wearing thin, paper thin. Promises broke again. What a sin, but it only feeds my energy. So don't expect no sympathy. Smoke, fire. never going up, never going up, no, no. White flag, never going up, never going up, no, no. Oh, wave my white flag, wave my flag. This time I won't let go. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Wave my white flag, wave my flag. Oh, I won't go down slow. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Oh, 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 raise my white flag.
And we welcome you back to period 2 action. Still no score between the Rockers and the Dashers, but the Dashers very fortunate it's a scoreless game. They were dominated, outshot 24-9 in that opening frame. Parker Rutherford was the X factor, turning aside every shot in his direction. Motor with the only power play opportunity to date, and of course it was another Tim Delaney first period penalty, but they didn't score this time, so maybe something different's in the air. But definitely an interesting and lopsided first period, and we'll see who comes out with the jolt here to start period 2. But I might have mentioned it earlier, but just to recap, I mean, you think about the Dashers' record. They've played 53 games. They only have 3 victories in that time. But when you think about exactly the stakes of the games that they won in, it seems like they need to have some sort of big thing going every night. They won the home opener, which was the first Dasher game in this building in about 4 years. But took that home opener, the 3rd game of the season, and then it took them 50 games after that to win last night. They win in a shootout, their first win in extra time. The second shootout they were a part of, I messed that up last night, but they were in a shootout with Binghamton earlier in December, and that game ended in a 4-3 loss after the shootout. But the final win, of course, was Justin Brosnan's 400th game back on March the 20th against the HC Venom. He scored in that as well, a 7-3 victory for the Dashers. But summary, home opener, last night, of course, Justin Brosnan night with a 7-6 shootout victory, and then the 400th game Justin Brosnan played. So a lot of exciting things as Dashers hit the ice, and we're going to get ready to go here for period 2. Happy to have everybody spending their Sunday afternoon with us here for a matinee edition of Dashers Hockey, taking on the Motor City Rockers for the 7th and final time. Gonzalez now heads down to the west end of the arena, takes his place in between the pipes. Parker Rutherford over on the east. Goaltender battle in period 1. Waiting to see who's going to blow open the offense here. Dashers are going to start with their line of Mo Levac centering Justin Brosnan and Zach Horn. Horn typically a center, but he's bounced out to the wing, and they have made a really complete line between Horn, Levac, and Brosnan, playing well together. Zach Horn had the best scoring chance in period 1, a 3-on-2 play. Levac to Brosnan, down to Horn, but just couldn't find a way to finish it. Motor City counters the Dashers 5 with Brendan Ronan at center, with Matthias Tellstrom to his right, Hunter Hall to his left, in the pairing of Cody Oakes and Jamison Milam. It's Oakes picking it up off the end wall. We're back underway here in period 2. Brosnan trying to fish it out of his cleats, and Horn spins one on goal. First shot of the period for the Dashers is turned aside by Rico Gonzalez. Brosnan with a nice hit down low on Cody Oakes. And now here come the Rockers. Brendan Ronan back the other way, has it taken away by Mo Levac. Tremendous back check, gets it over to Horn, maybe in all alone, shoots! Might have rushed it a little bit, and it's turned aside by Gonzalez. Another prime grade A scoring chance for Zach Horn. Hasn't scored since his 4-goal effort back on that March the 20th game against the Venom. Playing for his 5th FPHL team. Hornets spent time with Watertown, Blue Ridge, Carolina, Mississippi, and the Dashers now. As this one warrants another whistle, and we'll get ready for another quick face-off. Parker Rutherford looking to hand off the puck. Take you through the officiating crew once again. It's Tony Hoyles, the referee, with Jordan Crobble, and then Gabe Kuffel and David Gora make up the linesman pairing. Shots are 2-0 in favor of the Dashers here early on. As faceoff is controlled by the home team. Rothy tried to click it up the boards back to Prexler. It's denied back down low. Erdman colliding in the corner with Eli Rivers. Rivers was slow to get off the ice at the end of period one, talking with the officials about something. Definitely has been disgruntled all weekend long, not getting the calls he thinks he should. Tim Delaney behind his goal, breaks it out on over to Blake Siewertson. Backhand feed is turned over to Blaisdell, across the blue line with room, through the hash. Holds, gets it to Sneath, on goal, and Rutherford another big save. Prexler couldn't reel it in. It goes out to Colton, over to Gullo. Gullo, quick hard pass to Blaisdell, who knocks it out of the air back to his backhand, and then turns it over to Siewertson. Out of the zone, picked up by Blaisdell once again. Blaisdell on over to Gullo. Gullo surveying, holding, shooting, and Rutherford grabs it with the glove to hold on to that one. And with 18:10 to go in period two, we'll get another face-off. There are some Motor City Rockers fans, boosters, season ticket holders in the crowd tonight. Among them is, of course, Ralph Lake, personal vacation advisor at MVP, Magical Vacation Planner. You can reach him at 567-709-4413. No free ads, but Ralph's been good to me all weekend long, and it's been a joy to talk to him about the Dashers and the Rockers and their 7-game affair this season. So going to put a quick plug in for him there. Madiorov in front, missed the net. Took a funny carol off the wall, and he almost made it 1-0, picking up right where he left off. Instead, we stay scoreless. Back behind the goal. Diver pulls it away from Madiorov. And McGill Diaz floats it on over to Checo. Cross-ice area pass off the wall. Taken by Gagnon. Hits the brakes and through the circle has it knocked away. Here come the Dashers. Numbers the other way. Maybe a 4-on-2. Gagnon dropping it off to O'Reilly at the circle shoot. The save, the rebound. And Motor City now. N10 the other way. Corgan through the hash on the near side. Backhander is flipped out by Gagnon. Might have got a piece of Parker Rutherford as well. Another high pass goes by the left side of O'Reilly. He's going to head off for a change. Cody Oakes now will start things. Back through the neutral zone across the blue line. Holds and saves it on over to Tellstrom. Tellstrom between the circles shoots. That one flicks up and then off the end wall. Tellstrom gets it right on back. Stick lift loses the lumber from Jacob Gagnon. He's fighting back and forth with Hunter Hall down low. Hall now picks it up at the face-off dot. Out to the point, Milam thought about the shot, eventually goes through with it, and Brosnan blocks that one, gives him a pat on the butt afterwards. Couple veterans there. They've been around this league for quite some time. Malott back over the blue line. Comes over to the near side where Gullo chips it on out. Malott at the end of his shift, out of gas. Trying to outwill Hunter Hall down low. He wins the race. Malott struggling to force it out of the zone. Rothy comes in to help the scrum, and now Hall peeling towards the goal. Tried to center for Ronan, and Rothy swats it to safety. Mo Levac now in the corner. Back on over to Nathan Malott. Nick Gullo just bumped Levac into the wall, and he went into the wall pretty hard. Those two really are comedians. If you just put a camera on the two of them all night, I think you'd be pretty pleased. Rivers gains the line. Beautiful move around Doyle. Now a pass back door, and it couldn't be finished by Colton. Eli Rivers, a beautiful move around Sean Doyle. Opened the door for a 2-on-1 that just blew up on the Rockers. Horn now with room to shoot. Trying to float one over the glove side, or rather the blocker side of Gonzalez, and it goes wide. Lucas Rothy banks it out to Siewertson. Through the neutral zone, gains the line. Holding, drop pass to Prexler, to his backhand. Centering one, cut off. Attempted to get it to Erdman, but a different 17, and TJ Sneath picks it off. Over to the near side, it's Checo. Closing in on the 15-minute mark here in period two. Next whistle will likely be our next media timeout. Siewertson goes out of the zone. O'Reilly in a foot race for the puck with Blaisdell. No icing the officials deem. O'Reilly back on over to Prexler. Goes by his forehand. Coming to help out is Sewardson. In the near corner has it. Sewardson out to the point. Taken away by Checo. And Zach Slinger will chip it back on in. Gonzalez didn't know where the puck was. It was vacant in the blue paint. But no Dashers around to find a home for it. Gagnon tipped over by Sewardson, but now here come the Rockers back the other way. 2-on-3 for them. Checo holds and waits for help. Spins it down low instead. Gagnon run into the wall hard by Quinn O'Reilly, the junk dog. Gagnon stapled once again by Ian Erdman. Took him down with a stick a little bit. Those two a little slow to get up, but seem to be okay once they untangle. Uturo on a cross. O'Reilly with time. Shoots! And that one missed the net, but another good rip from O'Reilly. Erdman couldn't spin the low angle shot on goal. Gets it back to O'Reilly. Serpentining through the middle. Shoots! And he missed the net. O'Reilly with two good scoring opportunities there. Frustrated as he leaves the bench. Rutherford paddles that one up and off the glass. Gagnon stapled into the boards by Brendan Ronan. Out into the middle. Corgan had that pass go a little hot off his tape, and it goes wide. McGill Diaz with a ton of room above the circle shoots. Rutherford might have got a piece of his glove or went over the net instead. Corgan down low, banged into by Gagnon. Still scoreless here through the opening 6.5 minutes of period 2. Shots are 3 aside in the second frame. Yasuke Jumanji, Yokohama, Japan native, the rookie, fan favorite here in Danville. Loses the race to Diver, on over to Hall, who stretches it the other way to Tellstrom. Tellstrom through Ronan's blade, it goes on over to Gagnon. Madiarov touches it out of the zone to Jumanji. Zach Horn now with it. At the circle shoots. Gonzalez, a brilliant save. Horn tried to surprise him with a shot, but Gonzalez answered the bell. Out into the neutral zone, it's Malott once again now. Looking for Levac, couldn't get it to him. Turnover. Tellstrom with room, shoots. He missed the net. Stood up by Gagnon as well in the process. Hall will take it out to center and allow his group to reset. Hall shoots from center ice in the midst of a change. Malott, a little trouble settling the bouncing puck. Taken back by Milam. Nagullo, he rang the bar. Nick Gullo off the outside of the post, actually, with another good scoring opportunity for the Rockers. 12:28 to go. Hold on to your hats and save some fingernails for later as well. A nail-biter here in Danville, still scoreless. Back in a flash.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. Hello? Should you become stranded, be ready to signal rescuers. Bush.
How long have I been out here?
About 12 minutes. Head for the mountains.
Very humbled to receive a shout out from Tom Barnes, public address announcer, during that last media timeout. Said some very kind things about me and got a nice little ovation from the home crowd here in Danville. It's been a blast, even with the way this season has gone record-wise, but very, very humbled and happy to have been the voice of the Dashers this season, and time will tell what happens in the future. Milam's quick low-angle shot turned aside by Rutherford. TJ Sneath gets it over to Levac, and Gagnon slides it back around. Malott with a good hit over in the far corner on Eli Rivers, and then bangs into Sneath, taken away by Gagnon. Gagnon now, wheeling, gets it for Horn. Horn gains the line, one-on-one with Milam, goes back to Brosnan, down low. Gagnon, backhander, couldn't lift it over the pad. Another beautiful save from Rico Gonzalez. Horn for Nathan Malott once again. Couldn't sweep it down low. Cody Oakes looking to stretch it the other way. Rivers going to win the race, so there's no icing. Oh, looks like instead they will blow the whistle. Looked like he beat Levac, but we're going to get another face-off coming, this time back in Rico Gonzalez side of things. Sewardson will go meet Gagnon in the far side circle over on the left wing. It's won by Sewardson out to Rothy. Gets it to Delaney, who shoots tipped in front. Sewardson to Prexler. Prexler fishing for it in his skates. On goal by Rothy. And he picks up his own rebound. Back out to the point, Delaney. He chips it down low. Goes all the way around, finds Sewardson. Banked back to Rothy for Prexler. Prexler shoots. He missed the net again. A lot of grade A chances for both sides have not found their way on goal. But, man, there has been some good opportunities in between the circle. Prexler gains the line. Holding at the circle, backhanding one through the blue paint. Gets all the way to Sewardson in the near circle. Sewardson looking for a tip from Prexler, didn't get it. Goes over to the far side, and now Prexler once again has it picked off by Gagnon. Rothy buries Gagnon down low with a nice hit. Sewardson to his backhand, couldn't finish. Once again, another brilliant save from Rico Gonzalez. Something about him playing against the Dashers this season has just been right. Had a shutout against them in Motor City back in December, towards the end of the month, right before the new year. As in front, Corgan trying to force one on goal. Rutherford finds a way to cover it. And we'll get another whistle. 10.5 minutes to play here, period 2. In other hockey news, huge shout out to Alex Ovechkin, who scored his 895th goal out on Long Island against the New York Islanders today. UBS Arena stopped the game, and there was a huge celebration with the entire Capitals roster cowboying over the boards. They brought out Ovechkin's family, an extended family, and he gave some words along with Wayne Gretzky, who of course had the previous record of 894 goals. But check it out on YouTube if you missed it live today during the day. Really cool moment, and congrats to Alex Ovechkin. Of course, he'll never hear that, but still a pretty cool moment in the NHL. Tellstrom outside the circle over to Ronan, who shoots. That one got blocked down in front. It was either Gagnon or Malott. Malott looking for Uturo. Instead goes to Matyarov off the deflection. Out to the point. Gagnon's one-timer in on Gonzalez, who sticks it away. Uturo on the far circle looking for a passing lane. Instead spoons it down low for O'Reilly. O'Reilly, a ladle. Back for Matyarov. He gets crunched into the wall. Turned over to Tellstrom. Maybe numbers for the Rockers the other way. Tellstrom rushes the pass. Gagnon's able to cut it off and snuff out the opportunity. Malott stretching one out, looking for Uturo. Cut off by McGill-Diaz. Matyarov goes down, trying to find a way to force the puck deep. Tellstrom on over to McGill-Diaz. Chipped up and into the zone. Malott below the end line gets it on over to Gagnon. Uturo at center ice. Banks it in. And now we'll go chase. Still scoreless here across the midway point in this final of 7 battles between the two. Brosnan's one-timer. Didn't get much on it. That's going to be one he wants back. Levac to Delaney. Delaney pulling down low, avoids the stick check of Gullo. Uturo below the end line. Backhanding one off the wall to Erdman. Erdman got a little handcuff with the play at the point by Rivers. Dasher's able to recover. Delaney touches it in, but Brosnan didn't catch up in time, and that will be our next media timeout. 8:51 to go. Still scoreless. A tooth and nail war of attrition on this 3-game set between the two squads. We'll be back in a dash right here on the Dashers Hockey Network.
Winter's coming. Think your furnace is good to go but want to be sure? For a limited time, CU Trade Services Kashevsky Heating and Air is offering a $65 basic operational check to get you ready for the cold. Need plumbing or electrical work too? CU Trade Services Kashevsky Heating and Air now proudly serves the Danville area for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical services. Call CU Trade Services Kashevsky Heating and Air now to book your basic furnace operational check at 217-442-1454 or visit cutradeservices.com today.
Toyota of Danville is car shopping made easy. They provide a vast selection of new and used vehicles along with exceptional care. Car loans and financing are also available. Toyota of Danville prides themselves on their commitment to amazing customer experiences. They also have a service center to ensure the vehicle you purchase will be up to par and on the road for years to come. While you wait on service or parts, they have a wide variety of thoughtful amenities to enhance your experience. Come on down and see what Toyota of Danville can offer you. Toyota of Danville is located at 2106 Georgetown Road in Tilton, Illinois. You can search their new and used vehicles or parts inventory online. Feel free to schedule a visit for service. Visit toyotaofdanville.com or call 217-442-8474 to learn more. Toyota of Danville, the fun place to buy.
And we welcome you back to our broadcast here. Devin Dobeck, Carson Brown, Lincoln Mackin along with you. Levac ties up the draw. It spits out to Eli Rivers. Rivers run into by Erdman, but Motor gains the line. Milam, a little trouble uncorking the shot, tried to backhand it to Gullo. Instead, it's cut off. Rivers couldn't keep the possession. Brozin breaks it out the other way to Erdman. Maybe numbers for the Dashers. On over to Horn. Horn looking to get it back to Erdman. And a good effort on the back check by Cody Oakes to make sure that was no longer. Milam, leg-to-leg check with Justin Brozin. Those two, of course, know that neither of them a malicious hockey player. Exchange a fist bump, but Milam is going to finish his shift. He's okay. A lot of respect between those two FPHL legends. Delaney leaves it for Levac. Dropped on back to Delaney. Over to Levac once again. The two continue to play catches. Rothy will send it into the zone. Oakes, first one there behind the goal. Inside 8 minutes to play in the second period. Oakes wheeling through the dasher at center ice, looking for some sort of offense to his forehand, and couldn't get the shot away again. It's been a common theme. Good areas, good chances, as Gagnon might have got away with a slash there. Some frustrations out on Oakes. Physical, hard-nosed hockey. There's been just one penalty in the game. That belongs to Tim Delaney. 7:32 to go here, period 2, as Rutherford grabs another. Over in our other game, the Watertown Wolves, last I checked, were tied at 5 with the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Trying to reload it here and see if that's held true. I heard Kim Miettinen in the second period got in his first fight of the season. Colton Wyzak gave me that little tidbit. Colton watching back home in St. Thomas, Ontario. Hope everything's okay with you, brother. Of course, had his season ended after blocking a shot in the trip down south to Mississippi. Shots are 9-7 Dashers here in period 2, 31-18 in the game. So Motor City has already matched their shot total from last night in the first half of today's affair. Puck goes in deep. Gagnon plays it along the wall for Prexler. Prexler will flip it up into the cool, thick air of the David S. Palmer Arena. Comes down where Rothy tried to get it to Sewardson, but couldn't complete the job. Forces a turnover in the neutral zone now. Harassed by Chris Corrigan. Stick got up a little high. Didn't get Corrigan in the face, though, fortunately enough. Prexler off of his stick. Deflected on over into the far wall for Hall. Hall looking to work around Rothy using his body. Gagnon area pass outside of the bandwidth of Nathan Malott. Prexler now goes over to Rothy on the far side. Slams on the brakes, shimmies away from Josh Colton behind the goal. Protecting on his backhand. Through the circle, turns one on goal, and that one might have hit his own teammate in Prexler. Tellstrom leading the charge the other way. Even numbers. Colton's shot turned aside by Rutherford. Finds its way over to Prexler. Into the skates of Delaney, finds Tellstrom to Colton with room. Back to Tellstrom, off the pipe! We've had about 3 or 4 posts hit, majority of those belonging to the Rockers. Smadiorov goes hard to the goal. And with 6:06 to go, we'll have another media timeout. But yeah, still 5-5 in the third period down at the Raising Cane's River Center in Baton Rouge between the Watertown Wolves and the Baton Rouge Zydeco. 4th seed in the Empire versus the 5th seed in the Continental. But still the stakes high for Baton Rouge, trying to find a way to make Blue Ridge come to them next weekend. Blue Ridge has got the Dashers for a pair on April 11th and 12th. That will be the final weekend of Dashers hockey in their re-inaugural season. And of course, Motor City will have Port Huron next weekend. So if they can't find a way to punch their ticket tonight with a win, they will have an opportunity to do so against their arch rival, an in-state rival for that matter. Must be nice driving 40 minutes to a road game. Closest road game for the Dashers is, of course, Motor City, about a 6-hour trip there, and they only went there once. Been to New York about 5 or 6 times, though. As this one is picked out of the air by Gonzalez, and we'll have another face-off just about 5 seconds later. Madyarov wins it away from Ronan. Erdman finds the loose change. Coils back or outside the circle and then sends it down low again. O'Reilly cut off by McGill Diaz. Still battling with him up high. Those two are going to get tied up. O'Reilly's helmet's off, and now they're going to go again. Round 2 of McGill Diaz and O'Reilly. O'Reilly gave him a quick left to the face, and this should be matching penalties. McGill Diaz pulled his helmet off. Of course, unfinished business from Friday night. O'Reilly a little bit fired up, but didn't take it too far. And now I would imagine both of them are going to go, and we're going to have 4-on-4. O'Reilly still going back for more. Referee's getting in front of him. And we'll see exactly how all this shakes out. O'Reilly is now being escorted over to the bench. And McGill Diaz and Quinn O'Reilly. O'Reilly from the bench, pointing with his stick over at McGill Diaz, who nods and laughs at him. And it looks like the draw is going to come back to the other blue line now, or maybe just outside the Motor blue line. O'Reilly is now back off the bench. Maybe they're going to send him to the penalty box. Certainly does appear that way, maybe for that last extra punch after the referees were already involved. Not even a punch, just a face wash, so it should be just a 2-minute minor for roughing, if anything. But I'm surprised they're not also going to get McGill Diaz here. I mean, yeah, McGill Diaz started that entire altercation. I disagree with that decision from the officials, but to be fair, both guys got a few shots in. O'Reilly did retaliate, then the referees got involved, and then he got the extra face wash in, and that might be why he's the only one being booked. Just the second penalty of the hockey game. First one, a minor for holding to Tim Delaney in the first. Motor 0 for 1 on the power play. Dashers are getting ready to go to their second Carnegie Dumpstar penalty kill. Their power play unit will, well, I'm surprised that, I'm a little confused that the draw's outside the blue line, because typically you call a penalty, it's an offensive zone draw for Motor. It was, okay, so it's not a penalty, it's a 10-minute misconduct for inciting a fight. So we still play 5-on-5. I think the officials, if they're going to call anything at all, that might be the right one. So neither team will go shorthanded here, and we play on. But O'Reilly is going to be sitting and finding a home in that penalty box until about 5 minutes into period 3. So they lose their biggest physical weapon, and we'll see how they're able to adapt. Still no score through the opening 35 minutes of this contest, as Rutherford hangs on to that one for another face-off. Shots are 32-18 in favor of Motor City here across the entirety of the game. 9-8 in the second period. Dashers have had 9 shots in each frame. Motor had 24 in the first, but they've cooled off a bit. Just 8 here in period 2. Mo Levac will glide in to meet TJ Sneath. Sneath, the former Vermilion County Bobcat as well, called the David S. Palmer Arena home for a bit. But a guy who's a lethal points getter for Motor City. Everybody's been held in check tonight, though. Cody Oakes back below his own end line. With inside 5 minutes ago, next whistle will be our final media timeout of the second period. Oakes for Sneath, broken up by Gagnon. Sneath wheeling back around on the near side. Saucer pass gets over to Oakes. He's able to settle the twirling puck, trying to go back down low for Rivers. Gagnon gloves it down, accepts the contact from Milam to make a play. Looking for help from Brozin, who joins the scrum. Gagnon back over to Brozin. Brozin gets it to his forehand, and Saucers one over to Horn. Horn back to Brozin at center ice. 1-on-3, looking for some sort of option. Lost it in between his skates. And the Dashers will reset back over to Levac. Levac at the end of his shift will flip it on in, but didn't get it the entire distance, so he'll have to stay on for a bit. Rothy who's really been laying the body here tonight. Throws a nice hit into Cody Oakes. Nick Gullo now gains the line. Back outside the circle with a burst of speed, lost it, darting towards the goal. Malott had it for a moment, gave it back to Sneath. Out to the point, it's Blaisdell. Down low, behind Rutherford's cage. Picked on up by Checo. Out to the point, Colton. Beautiful feed that Gagnon couldn't handle. He would have been one-on-one against Parker Rutherford. Now Zach Horn trying to find a new gear around Blaisdell. Couldn't dangle around him with a windmill deke. Motor City's back check has been tremendous tonight. Delaney. Down low, it's Corrigan now, over to Gagnon. Gagnon cut off by Malott. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the second period. Blaisdell's shot misses everything. Sewardson tied up on the far side with Corey Checo. Eventually it's Colton taking a quick shot on goal, tried to surprise Rutherford. Blaisdell run into the wall by Malott, still working on him. Might have got him up high with an elbow. Refs say play on. Prexler bounces it out of the zone where Colton retrieves it. Into the neutral zone. Comes on over to Chris Corrigan. Through the far circle shoots. Rutherford, the save, thought he had it. Gives away a rebound, but Delaney's there to help him out of trouble. Tim Delaney back the other way for Lucas Rothy. Cut off by Hunter Hall. Puck spits back into the Motor City end of things. Colton will go into the neutral zone for Tellstrom. Tape to Hunter Hall. Over the blue line. Holding. Erdman tried to jam him into the wall. Instead, Hall maintains possession in front. A quick opportunity for Brendan Ronan, trying to extend his goal streak to 3 games. Tic-tac-toe play from Tellstrom to the back door went inadvertently wide. Erdman sweeps it for Delaney. Delaney trying to go right back to his defensive partner. Instead, the puck jumps in the air and he's able to play it, but it goes all the way through Sewardson the length of the ice. And with 2:01 to go here in the second period, it's our last media timeout. We'll take it back in a few moments.
Smooth, goes down easy. I'd get a 6-pack every game.
Yeah, big beer guy, IPL. It's like Belgium. Nice.
It's really smooth.
Delicious.
It's actually really good. It tastes like an orange. Oh, that's delicious.
Shout out Riggs Beer Company.
Yep. That's really good. Love this can. Okay. 10 out of 10.
Never drink another beer again.
Woohoo. Nice can. I'll be taking that. Thank you. Just had to come back for one more taste.
.121 ticks remain on the clock here, period 2. McGill Diaz through the circle shoots. Rutherford waffle boards it way up into the sky. McGill Diaz settles it back down. Picked up by Brendan Ronan. Ronan goes down low for Hall. Hall spinning away from the pressure of Erdman. Sewardson jumps into the mix, has his stick tied up by Hall. 4-man scrum now belongs to Tellstrom. Tellstrom in front looking for a quick shot from Ronan. Prexler couldn't get it out of the zone. Finished the job by Sewardson. Prexler over to Erdman, in all alone, shoots, save Gonzalez, still free, nobody knows where it is. It's under a dasher. Prexler picking away at it, jamming away at it. Gonzalez makes a few more saves, and now some pushing and shoving. Ian Erdman, who does not have a professional goal yet to his name, or to his credit, I should say, had a golden opportunity there in all alone. And Rico Gonzalez, who's been exceptional tonight, makes another tremendous save. Not enough good things you can say about that guy. 83 seconds now. They're going to take the draw outside the blue line. Again, I'm not sure why they're doing that. Why would it not be an offensive zone draw for the Dashers? Go figure, will play on. Matyarov, clean win back over to Malat, but the puck was on edge, and Malat has a little trouble settling it. Shakes off the defense, trying to get it back to Matyarov. It comes in on Gonzalez, and Matyarov will settle for another offensive zone draw this time. Matyarov will meet TJ Sneath in the face-off circle. Tied up for a moment, and now Milam slides it on back to Cody Oakes. Back for Nick Gullo. About 1 minute remaining here in period 2. Score the same as when we started at 0-0. Shots are 35-22 in favor of the Rockers, 13-11 Dashers in the period, though. Dashers have outshot Motor City in every period of this weekend thus far, with the exception of the first period here tonight. Gullo trying to find a new gear to get a quick shot away at Rutherford. Backhanding one to the middle, had Sneath trailing in, but it got through everything. Malat with his stick down on the ice, breaks up a play to the center. Gullo out to the point, tipped in front, and Rutherford used his radar to track it down and throw the trapper on it. Once again, we remind you, stick around during the second intermission. I saw Zion Newton, who also, huge shout out to Zion, who has just about watched every game. Native of New York, but they have become a Dashers fan, and it's really been just a sight. We've really enjoyed having you, Zion. She's the one who came up, or they's the one that came up with Back in the Dash, so huge shout out to Zion. And we've appreciated your support all season. Malat quickly tried to get one on goal. Gagnon now will try and catch back up to it. It's Oakes tying up Gagnon in the far wall. But Tom Barnes' retirement ceremony from being the public address announcer will be at center ice. As the horn sounds, we will get into those festivities here. One quick break while everything starts to shake out, and we'll be back in a few moments to celebrate Tom, so stick around.
Chuck a puck out here on the ice for your chance to win from the Dashers. A signed stick. If you get your chuck a puck leg completely within the small face-off circle of center ice. We're also putting 2 banners out there. One for Scooter's Coffee, that's the one with the red circle on it. The other for Wilson's Auto Transmission. If you lay it on the banner and are closest to the center of that banner, you win a prize from that company as well. And all you got to do is get your chuck-a-puck closest to the center of those targets, and you could be our winner. As soon as we get to the second banner set, we'll be ready to toss those pucks out onto the ice. All right, fans, you know where you need to make a plan. 3, 2, 1, let's chuck 'em. All you have to do is get yours to land closest to the face-off circle of center ice or on one of those banners, and you could be our winner tonight of Chuck-a-Puck.
All right, Tommy, make your way down here, buddy. Thank you. All right. Well, since Tommy's walking down here, we're going to go 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to give a lot of prizes out tonight. So 2 prizes are going to go to scooters, the 2 closest ones. 2 closest to the center ice are going to get sticks. And 2 closest to Wilson's are going to get 2 oil changes. So we have 381 is for scooters. 65 is for scooters. Oh, what do you say, Amy? I always get in trouble for this one. Let's go 19. And 56 for center ice. And 221 and 75 are for Wilson's transmission. Sorry about the squeal, guys. Thank you very much for playing Chug and Puck. Go to your merchandise stand, pick up your pucks. Well, for 30 years, this man right here has been up in that booth announcing for us and other organizations. He told us he didn't want nothing done, but we can't do that for him. So, we'll give him a big round of applause. Get up on your feet. Give it for Tommy. So, we also got a big banner. So make sure when these guys score, you really count them up for them. Got him a jersey to hang up in his office. Got a big banner all of you guys signed. I want to say thank you again, Tommy, for over 30 years of announcing in the arena. Yep, he's got his championship ring on. He's going to kill us later, but...
For 30 years, I've known what to say. They've always given me a script, and now I have no idea what to say. Thank you, Dad. I don't know how you guys got it by me, but thank you for this one. That's going up in my office and working at the radio station. You're still going to hear me there weekday morning. I'm just stepping away from this part. But thank you for the support. Thank you to everybody along the way. Diane and Jerry up there in section 4 or 5, whatever. To the Mitchells here, to everybody, thank you very much. And to all the teams and the fans over the years, I do appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, real quick, we're going to do a Parker Rutherford stick drawing too. I know we've got a lot going on in this intermission. All right, 7-6, 9-3, 5, 7, 3-3. 9-6-9, or sorry, 7-6-9, 3-5, 7-3-3. You won, come up to the merchandise stand.
Toyota of Danville is car shopping made easy. They provide a vast selection of new and used vehicles along with exceptional care. Car loans and financing are also available. Toyota of Danville prides themselves on their commitment to amazing customer experiences. They also have a service center to ensure the vehicle you purchase will be up to par and on the road for years to come. While you wait on service or parts, they have a wide variety of thoughtful amenities to enhance your experience. Come on down and see what Toyota of Danville can offer you. Toyota of Danville is located at 2106 Georgetown Road in Tilton, Illinois. You can search their new and used vehicles or parts inventory online. Feel free to schedule a visit for service. Visit toyotaofdanville.com or call 217-442-8474 to learn more. Toyota of Danville, the fun place to buy. Looking for a delicious way to enjoy a healthy beverage? Stir Nutrition is Tilton's new healthy hangout. They provide a wide selection of protein shakes, energy drinks, and protein coffees of various sizes and flavors. They also have seasonal specials to fit the vibes just right. Come on in to meet the friendly staff at 1770 Georgetown Road, Suite B in Tilton, Illinois to see for yourself, or call 217-703-1374 to learn more. Just because it's cold outside doesn't mean you can't have a bounce house. Make your party one that the kids, and maybe some adults, will remember. Dishman Inflatables offers a wide variety of different sizes and styles of inflatable fun. They pride themselves on exceptional service and affordable prices that can make any day a celebration. Turn your backyard into a princess palace or a pirate ship. There's even dunk tanks available. Located in Bismarck, Illinois, Dishman Inflatables will continue to serve Vermilion County in both Illinois and Indiana for years to come. Follow Dishman Inflatables on Facebook or call 217-474-6319 to learn more. Dishman Inflatables. We rent you the fun for your party.
Take a hit, shoot me down, shoot me down. I won't ever hit the ground, hit the ground. Playing dead I'll never do. Gotta keep an eye on you. Patience is wearing thin, paper thin. Promises broke again. What a sin, but it only feeds my energy. So don't expect no sympathy. Smoke, fire, it's all going up. Don't you know I ain't afraid to shed a little blood? Smoke, fire, flares are going up, flares are going up. Oh, won't wave my white flag, no. This time I won't let go. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Won't wave my white flag, no. Oh, I won't go down slow. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Put an X on my chest, but I'm still standing, 'cause I won't forget the hell on earth you put me through. I'll save myself in spite of you. Smoke, fire, it's all going up. Don't you know I ain't afraid to shed a little blood? Smoke, fire, flares are going up, flares are going up. Oh, won't wave my white flag, no. This time I won't let go. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Won't wave my white flag, no. Oh, I won't go down slow. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. White flag, never going up, no, no. White flag, never going up, never going up, no, no. White flag, never going up, never going up, no, no. Oh, wave my white flag, no. This time I won't let go. I'd rather die than give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight, give up the fight. Won't wave my white flag, no. Oh, I won't go down slow. I'd rather die
Saloff now in the high slot. His quick shot, he scores! Nikolai Saloff! Oh my goodness! Some bomb right hands in front of the Dasher bench. Pulls his helmet off. Still goes. Now Juwan Davis. His first shot, he scored! Juwan Davis. Circle to his backhand. Moving in, he scored! Blake Sewardson, how you doing? Firing up the crowd. Zach Horn in all alone with a breakaway. Walks in, shoots, scores! Zach Horn. Zinchenko towards the goal, shoots, he scores! Bohdan Zinchenko restores the lead. That second of the season goes over the top of the right. A couple more rights to Greco, takes him down and pounds him. Zinchenko with a couple over the top. He's got him against the glass. Bohdan Zinchenko, a healthy diet of rights. My songs know what you did in the dark. So light 'em up. Murphy scores! Brosnan who shoots, he scores! Justin Brosnan, the captain. And we welcome you back to Dashers Hockey, the final period, or at least period in regulation, inside the David S. Palmer this season. My name's Devin Dobeck. I'm joined by Carson Brown and Lincoln Mackin on the camera. Really cool moment. Carson just dropped my iPad. You're fired. You're fired on the last game. You just dropped my iPad. Back to business here, though. What a ceremony it was for Tom Barnes. Carson fired back with, I fired him yesterday, and I did because we haven't won with him as the producer in the chair. So after the win yesterday, because Harris was the producer, I was joking with him that he's fired. But no, real talk, he's been tremendous all season long. I am forever indebted to Carson for what he's done for me this season. But we definitely have a good banter going. That's just what happens in broadcast booths. But now we'll get into the game stats. Still scoreless through 40 minutes. The shot's 38-24 in favor of the Rockers. They're 0 for 1 on the only minor penalty that's been assessed tonight. Of course, Quinn O'Reilly got that 10-minute misconduct penalty for inciting an altercation with an opponent, so that's why the penalty minutes look so skewed there. But there's only been one power play opportunity, and it's belonged to the Rockers on the Tim Delaney minor for holding. The attendance tonight announced at 1,002 patrons taking in this matinee. That is our best crowd since opening night officially inside the David S. Palmer, so we shall see what else is in store tonight as the Rockers take the ice. Tommy B, one of his shticks has always been playing some sort of silly tune when the other team takes the ice, and then right to Welcome to the Jungle when the Dashers fly out. So one last time we're going to get to hear that. Really cool moment. They presented him with a number 4 jersey that said Tommy B on the back, and of course a huge banner that had his famous quote, "Count 'em up" on it. Count 'em up is what Tommy B says after every Dashers goal, and the crowd in response will chant 1, 2, or however many it may be. Last night it was 7. Not tonight, though. We shall see what period 3 has in store for us right here on the Dashers Hockey Network. Who is going to be the hero tonight? More dramatics in Danville. Crowd hasn't had too much to cheer about. Well, they've had some great saves from Parker Rutherford, of course, to cheer about, but nothing on the offensive side. So we'll see if anybody wants to be that hero. Last night it was Ilner Matyarov. Motor City could have a villain of their own here. On the road looking to spoil the show. The Dashers looking to spoil the playoff run for the Rockers. Of course, it's going to take a lot more than their efforts, but we shall see. Top line of Levac, Horn, and Brozin out there, and Levac wins it so cleanly to Jacob Gagnon. He is so good on that face-off circle as it gets sent in deep. Cody Oakes the first one there, and we get a really quick whistle. And I'm not sure what the indication is from the linesman, but we'll sit tight here. Maybe just an icing, as now we go back to Parker Rutherford's side of things. Dashers now from right to left, Rockers from left to right. Levac squares off, ties it up, but it's one away by Brendan Ronan. Hunter Hall, after the puck took a funky bounce off the wall, has a little trouble possessing it. Levac looks to shove it up to his captain Brozin. Ronan from the point shoots. Horn forces a turnover, maybe a breakaway for the big man. Trying to find a gear, he shoots, and that one got blocked down. Good speed from Cody Oakes on the back end to break that one up. Brozin gets it back, trying to find it to his forehand, and he couldn't. Frustration for him there. Definitely doesn't have the legs he used to about a decade ago. But a good opportunity for the Dashers early on. Here's Ronan now, gliding around Malott. He missed the net. Rutherford was way out of his crease that time. The Rutherfords are all lined up over above the Logan's Appliance board ad over on the right side of things. Maybe we'll get a shot of the Rutherford gang momentarily. There's, looks like 8 of them lined up against the glass there. And what a moment it was to share with their son, brother, grandson, whoever it may be, or whatever the relation may be, that big 7-6 win at home last night. Drop pass for Gullo. Gullo at the circle, tried to get it back to Sneath, but Erdman had Sneath's hands tied up. It goes back on over right in front of the Rutherfords. Blaisdell takes a shot. So now you know where they are. You can see them over on the far side as now another shot is blocked down. Prexler had his stick hooked up a bit. 100 seconds gone by here in period 3. Still scoreless. O'Reilly's got another couple minutes to serve in the sin bin for his 10-minute misconduct. Prexler had no idea that Sewardson was over the line, and that will settle things down as the draw will come back just outside the blue line. Try and get you an update on Watertown and Baton Rouge shortly. Baton Rouge in front of Watertown now, 6-5. What a game that's been. I'm sure the Raising Cane's River Center is ready to cave in. They had about 3,000 fans last night. So some good crowds there for Don Lewis and the Zydeco. Gagnon trying to get it to Utero. It's cut off, picked on up, and sent in quickly by Corey Checo. Off the boards, Corgan beats Gagnon to the puck. Utero tracks it down on the far wall. Between the legs, passes Jumanji. Backhand, no-look feed to Matyarov. He'll gain control of the line. Looking for an option, gets it to Jumanji, but the pass a little hot, and door-to-door with him was McGill Diaz. Gagnon back to Matyarov off the side of the cage. Jumanji battling for it. Goes back over to Matyarov, out to the point. Gagnon's one-timer. Missed badly. Out to Checo. Jumanji trying to swat it in deep. He does. Matyarov, little trouble gloving it down. Recovers on his backhand. Through the circle, goes to the goal. Tried to slide it, and it might have hit the pad of Gonzalez. Another turnover. Matyarov gets tipped over from behind and then fallen on by Corey Checo. Jumanji was loading up for a one-timer. It's Doyle back over to Erdman. Erdman shoots. That one got through everything all the way to the end wall. Doyle forcing one on goal, tipped in front, and it goes wide. Shots are 2-1 Motor City here to kick off the third period. Doyle was lining up for a hit on Ronan, but the puck gets by everyone, and it'll be an icing. As now we go back to Rico Gonzalez zip code. Pretty crazy to see zeros on the scoreboard after 23 goals in the previous 2 nights combined. Of course, Motor City an 8-2 win on Friday, and then the Dashers a 7-6 shootout victory last night. Levac and Zach Horn having a conversation over on the near circle ahead of the faceoff. Justin Brazen catches a few words, and we'll get ready to go again. Levac. Around the wall, Brazen, a good stick lift on McGill Diaz, creates some room. Dropped it back, but out of the reach of Horn. Sent back down low to Mac Diver. Diver hit hard by Brazen, shoulder to shoulder. Erdman keeps it in at the blue line. Accepts the contact from Ronan. Diver trying to shake away from Zach Horn. Banged once again by Brazen. Comes all the way back around the wall to Hunter Hall. Hall cut off by Zach Horn. Out to the point, Levac couldn't reel it in, and Corgan touches it in deep. Foot race to the puck with Erdman. Lifted his stick. Doyle will pick it up below the end line. It's been a long shift for Sean Doyle as he gets run into the wall and goes down on the Hunter Hall check. Back up to his feet. Oakes closing in on him. Dances around Doyle to the backhand. He hit the crossbar. Doyle pats Parker Rutherford on the butt. Says, thanks for bailing me out. And so this stays a scoreless game. Crossbar can sometimes be a goalie's best friend. And that time for Rutherford it was. Might have got a piece of it, but then it went off the bar. There's been about 3 bars hit by the Rockers tonight as Sneath goes down on the faceoff. Referees pocket the whistle. Back across it goes to TJ Prexler. Quinn O'Reilly still just a couple more moments. Probably the next whistle he'll be released. Here's Oakes. Back across. Goes over to Sneath. Rico Gonzalez has 2 shutouts this season. Parker Rutherford still looking for his first career professional shutout. See if one of those goaltenders can ink that milestone to their stat sheet. Still plenty of time here. 15 minutes in period 3 regulation time. No, I'm all set. Thank you, though. I got offered 50-50 tickets. I'm good. Malott gets walked around by Oakes. Oakes to the goal on his backhand, goes all the way around, but couldn't find a way to wrap it. Gullo loads up for a slap shot. Once again, missed badly. Over to Sneath, down below the end line. Cut off by Malott, goes to the middle. Gullo spinning one on goal, blocked down by Zach Slinger. He eats pucks for breakfast. Takes the rubber into the O-zone. Rothy holds to his backhand, back to the middle. Finds Matyarov. Quick pass to Malott. Malott, off-balance shot. Didn't get all the way through. Back out to Malott at the top of the key. He'll shoot again. Gonzalez the save, and he hangs on. Prexler goes down in front of the crease. Or rather, that was Lucas Rothy, as now it's our next media timeout. We'll take it. Here comes O'Reilly back from the box. Still 5-on-5. 0-0 Rockers, Dashers. Can't miss entertainment. Stay on the edge of your seats, folks. Back in the Dash.
Nuts About Bolts is a family and locally owned hardware store that has been open since 2015. Offering a wide range of products, they have the missing piece for your next project. If they don't have what you're looking for in stock, they can happily order it for you. Nuts About Bolts offers delivery services with no minimum purchase amount required. They take pride in their prices and friendly service. First-time customers get 10% off their first purchase. Additionally, Nuts About Bolts accepts returns up to 30 days after your purchase. They are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can call at 217-516-3186 or visit them at 812 Warrington Avenue in Danville to learn more. Nuts About Bolts is a proud sponsor of Dashers Hockey.
This is no ordinary cup. This Scooter's coffee cup was served with a genuine so good to see you again smile. This cup has a little boost of energy just for you. This cup came with extra whip for good luck.
We lost!
You'll get them next time. This Scooter's coffee cup was made by your favorite barista for her favorite customer.
14:22 to go here. Regulation, no score. Much different from the 6-5 Baton Rouge Watertown game down south. That game getting into the late moments of the third period. Still Baton Rouge leading. Over to Corgan. Outside the circle, in through it. Shoots, and it missed everything again. That's been a common theme. Missed nets and posts tonight. Jumanji Trying to rip it away from Gagnon. Gets all the way to the slot. Uturo, beautiful touch pass to Matyarov. Trying to find a new gear. He's going to get run off into the wall by Blaisdell. Good, hard, clean hit. Jumanji then runs into Checo, throwing his body around. Checo shields the puck from Matyarov, sends it back to Colton in the Motor City end. And now Blaisdell turns it over. Jumanji with room, shoots. A save made by Gonzalez. Matyarov tried to flank him from the opposite side. Jumanji with a good scoring opportunity there, but once again, it's Gonzalez closing out the angle to make a save. Corrigan down below the end line. Gagnon door-to-door with him. Whiffed on the pass at first, then gets it to Colton. Back over to Hunter Hall on the near side. 13:15 to go. Hall accidentally puts it back into the neutral zone, and the Motor City Rockers will reset. Brazen cuts off Hall. Levac, backhand feed over to Uturo. Uturo gains the line. He'll shoot into Rico Gonzalez. Crest on the chest, and we'll get another face-off. Fun night of action it's been. Still scoreless. Dashers have been shut out 7 times this season. Motor City a handful themselves. Don't have the exact number for you. But a majority of Motor City's losses has been when the game gets out of hand offensively. Of course, when the opponent has scored 5 or more goals, Motor City has lost 24 of 26 of those battles, including last night. But tonight, a low-scoring affair, definitely more their style of game. Team who scores just over 3 goals a game, and we'll see if they can find a way to pull ahead here. Another low-angle shot from Ronan, missed wide left. McGill Diaz back on over to Tellstrom for Mac Diver. Diver shoots, kick save, Rutherford. Erdman run into the wall by McGill Diaz. Those two get locked up. Keep an eye on O'Reilly and McGill Diaz here in this frame. 4-man scrum in the corner. Delaney throws his way to Brendan Ronan. Levac trying to dig it back to his defenseman. Delaney right through that dangerous spot in the slot, gets it to Horn. Horn will chip it on back to Mac Diver. A good clear so the Dashers can change. Tellstrom over to Mac Diver. Turned over at center ice. Tapped in by Zach Horn. Now he heads for the bench. Rothy tried to throw a hip in at Mac Diver. Rivers runs into the referee. They have not been getting along here tonight. Then he misses the check on Rothy and goes hard into the wall. Rothy peeling outside the circle all the way to the point. Kept it on the blue line and then turns it over to Gullo. McGill Diaz gains the zone. Thought someone was to his right. Picks up his own error. Back down low, it's Rothy. Around the wall, Prexler, the first one to catch up to it. Spins around the pressure of Milam with a bank pass, but couldn't complete the play. Malott forces a turnover in the neutral zone. Malott shoots. Blocker save made by Gonzalez. 11:20 to go here. Regulation time, no score. Gagnon might have got hit up high by Milam that time. Milam centering one looking for Sneath. And it never got through. Here's Gagnon now wheeling. Around Checo to his backhand, to the goal. And it goes through the blue paint. Malott. Down low to Sewardson, all alone in front is Rothy, but Sewardson never saw him. The perfect cross-crease bumper play, and Sewardson's going to want to have that one back. Empty trip for the Dashers. Now back the other way, it's Motor. Cody Oakes to the high slot, shoots and scores. Cody Oakes goes to the glass with his arms in the air. A big goal for Motor City. A snipe from Cody Oakes wheeling all around the goal. And from the high slot, picks one to beat Rutherford over the blocker. And Motor City is the first to score here tonight. Handful of purple jerseys in the house are fired up. Everybody else a little bit somber. Matyarov. And Chenko wins the draw, back over to Colton. Corrigan through the neutral zone. No assist credited on the Oaks goal. Unassisted, did it all himself. The assistant captain taking the leadership to a new level and trying to be the reason his team is going to go to the 2025 Commissioner's Cup. Jumanji hit hard into the wall by Chris Corrigan. Gonzalez slows things down around Colton. It goes on out for a quick shot from Erdman that trickled once again through the crease and then back out to the Dashers zone. Erdman sends the rolling puck up to Uturo, settles it, gets it to Matyarov, wheeling through Gagnon, tried to get it to Jumanji on the doorstep, and still nothing. Dashers have not gone to a Genworth State power play today either. Need to find a way to get that big tying goal here inside 10 minutes to play in the third. Gagnon will flip it way up and down over to Blaisdell. First one there is going to be in Uturo, actually. He takes a check, gets tied up, and then pulled down. No call from the officials again. Crowd not happy. Brozin then bumps into Checo. Uturo going to give him a couple whacks as now Colton comes around. Tipped in front by Gagnon. Gagnon tried to center again. It goes up off the dasher. Gagnon banking it all the way around the horn to Nathan Malott. Malott over to Brozin. Taps it in deep. Gonzalez settles it. Gonzalez, of course, one of his 2 shutouts this season came against the Dashers, stopping all 45 shots he faced back on December the 27th. And he might do it again here tonight. 9:06 to go in the third. We'll be back in a few moments. Cody Oaks, the difference maker. So we stay at 1-0.
Sleep Inn and Suites in Danville offer a simply stylish sanctuary near the Danville Area Community College. Their wide variety of amenities and accommodations make it the place to stay for anyone. Make yourself at home in one of their 76 individually furnished guest rooms, featuring refrigerators and microwaves. Your pillow-top bed comes with premium bedding. Wired and wireless internet access is complimentary, while 32-inch flat-screen televisions with cable programming provide the entertainment. Private bathrooms with showers feature complimentary toiletries and hairdryers. A complimentary full breakfast is served on weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and on weekends from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Conveniently located off of I-74, they are also within driving distance from several local sites and destinations, including Bunker Hill and Kennecook County Park, the David S. Palmer Arena, and the Village Mall.
It's time to come home to Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them.
From waterproof floors and carpet to furniture and design advice.
You've got a team of experts on your side.
Now get our best prices of the season on every carpet and floor. Complete your room with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers,
Where floors, furniture,
and family meet.
Back inside the David S. Palmer off the face-off window motor. Dashers had it for a moment. Brozin forces a turnover in the offensive zone, gets it back to Levac. Levac looking for Horn. Horn back to Brozin, and it was a little behind his reach. So Motor City able to take it back on away. Gil Diaz gives it away to Erdman. Erdman takes a few hacks and then lays a quick check into Hall at center ice. Back off the skate of Erdman to Tim Delaney. Delaney had a dead bounce off the wall, but able to get it to Levac. Back for Horn. Horn to Levac. Levac on his backhand lost it. Had it poked away by Tellstrom. Out to Delaney. Delaney through the circle to his backhand. Now to the middle, and it trickles just wide on the near side. Going down is Zach Horn now, and he's in some pain over on the face-off circle. Back up to his feet. Levac shoots. Tipped in front, maybe. Horn tried to spin one on goal afterwards, and it goes well wide. Controlled by Delaney now. Backhanding one to the middle, looking for Rothy. And the puck caroms back into the neutral zone. Good shift for that Dashers group. Now here's Erdman, his drive right into the chest of Gonzalez. Spits that one out with another face-off at 7:50 to go. We got a final score update for you. It's the Zydeco holding on to outlast the Watertown Wolves 6-5, avenging their 7-3 defeat last night. But it was a defeat you're probably okay with, because last night with Monroe's loss, they punched their ticket to the 2025 Commissioners' Cup playoffs. But they get a big win here tonight. And we'll see who's going to take this one. Still just a one-goal game between these two teams. Malott got tripped up down low. Prexler sends it out of the zone. Picked up by Cody Oaks, who's the difference maker in the game right now. Oakes might have got hooked a bit. Turns it over to Rothy. Loose puck at center is swatted in by TJ Sneath. Back out to Gagnon. He takes a hit from Gullo and fights it back out the other way. Gonzalez wanted an icing, won't get it. Rothy keeps it in the zone. Looking to spin it to the middle. Got a shot away as he was being taken down. It's back over to Sewardson. Out to Nathan Malott. Malott shoots. Tipped in front once again. Never got through. Prexler fanned on the pass attempt. Couldn't get it out to center. And now it's Nick Gullo over the blue line. Dropping one off to Eli Rivers. Down to Gullo. Tried to tip it for Sneath. Sneath goes down hard, riding the stick of Blake Sewardson. And now it's Gagnon. He'll gain control of the line. Tried to toe drag. Good fake, and now he goes short side, tipped in front by Prexler. Back over to Gagnon. Gagnon tried to thread the needle to Matyarov, got through everyone. Matyarov got hindered with. If he had went down, might have been able to draw a trip on Nick Gullo. But he stayed on his feet, and we play on at even strength. Motor City had the only power play back in period one. We've not had a minor penalty since. Just the 10-minute misconduct to O'Reilly that kept the game at even strength. Now Quinn O'Reilly with his first shift since taking that penalty will flick it on in deep. O'Reilly taking it out to Delaney at the point, run into by Gagnon. Puck spits out to center. Erdman in a race for it, and he'll catch up to it down in the end wall to provide an icing. 5:56 to go in the third. Matyarov, Utero, and O'Reilly out there with Delaney and Erdman. Matyarov wins the draw back to Utero, but it wasn't very quick, so Utero a little trouble handling it. Puck then is sent off the glove of Checo and then rejected out back to the Dashers' end. Delaney goes up the wall to O'Reilly. Touch pass to Matyarov. Matyarov door to door with him. Checo to the middle. Tripped up was Utero. He's going to draw a penalty. Rutherford quickly to the bench, and the Dashers will add the extra attacker in Blake Sewardson. Malott over to O'Reilly. Broken up for a moment. He sticks with it without Motor touching up for possession. Delaney pinballs it down low to Sewardson. Sewardson all the way out and all the way back. Mo Levac's going to have to go track it down. Ronan won't give much of a chase. Levac hits the brakes to try and get rid of Ronan. Gives it back to Sewardson. Inside 5 minutes to go here in the third. Once Motor touches up, it'll be a media timeout as Ronan grabs that one. This will be our final media timeout. We will take it. What a night. And the Dashers are going to go up a man for the first time when we return. 4:57 to go back in a dash to Danville.
The solar industry has come a long way since it got its start, with lower installation costs, greater output and storage options, and financial incentives for getting started. Now is a great time to add solar to your home. Rector Solar and Roofing is your neighborhood authority in the solar industry. They are experienced roofers who know the value of solar and strive to put it to work in our community. They can dispel the myths surrounding solar and give you trusted advice that's accurate to your home. Visit rectorsolar.com to request a free quote or call 217-281-7000.
Jocko's features legendary pizza and so much more. Imagine all your favorite ingredients piled high on Jocko's crispy, crackery thin, or New York-style crust, plus many delectable signature pizzas. Jocko's award-winning loaded farm-fresh salad bar has the best selection in town and goes perfect with their daily homemade soups. Our extensive menu is comprised of a large variety of appetizers, hearty sandwiches, several entrees, including savory pasta and luscious desserts, wet your whistle signature wines, and craft beer specials. There is always something new to discover at Jocko's, so don't miss our daily and monthly specials. Kids of all ages will love the model trains and daily games on the big screens. We welcome groups of all sizes or enjoy the comfort of a homemade meal in the convenience of your home or office from their bountiful selection on the catering menu. Jocko's, rocking your taste buds since 1972, Gilbert and Williams, Danville, Illinois.
Levac, Horn, Madyarov, Brazin, and Malat make up the power play unit. The first Genworth State Farm power play for the Dashers this season. Rutherford a little trouble handling it behind the goal. Gets it back to Madyarov, who sends it just out of the reach of Horn. Picked up by Levac at the blue line. Dashers have control of the zone. Zach Horn on over to Brazin for Nathan Malat. Back to Justin Brazin. Through the circle, down low to Levac for Madyarov on the doorstep. A really nice setup play that time. As Rutherford comes out to play it again, he'll go around the wall to Brazin. Brazin pinballs it back on over to Nathan Malat. 80 seconds to go on the Dasher man advantage. Levac gains the line. Back over to Horn for Levac once more. Levac through the circle. Losing a stick is McGill Diaz, so Levac capitalized on that space. And now we're going to have a penalty. Oh my goodness. Nathan Malat with a mental error. He was trying to swat the stick of McGill Diaz out of the zone, and you can't do that. So he draws a penalty. He was trying to move it out of the zone so it was out of the way, and Aaron Puck wouldn't hit it and break up a play. You definitely understand why he did it, but that's something that, by the book, you're not allowed to do. So the opportunity goes awry. Face off won by the Dashers. Oh, Sewardson all alone by himself on the far side, and he's going to get caught offside anyway. Gagnon tried to get it to him. And a tough stretch pass goes awry once more. It'll be about a minute power play for Motor City once they get Douglas Blaisdell back. Jumanji and Sneath square off on the face-off circle. Face-off won by Milam out to Oakes. Oakes trying to go around Sewardson, who forces him back out to the point. 3:45 to go here in regulation. Motor City with a 1-goal lead thanks to Cody Oakes' goal midway through the frame. Jumanji back on over to Gagnon. He collides with Rivers, actually. And now Jumanji looking to go flick his stick up and out of it. He takes a slash from Rivers, and Rivers, I mean, what are you doing if you're a Motor City fan? What a mistake from Eli Rivers, taking a dumb penalty, slashing Jumanji just like last night. And he's going to go to the box. Wow, Yasuke Jumanji the pest now. And he's going to wave Rivers off to the box. Well done, Yasuke. You get under the wrong guy, and now, oh my goodness, Rivers is headed off. This might be more than 2 minutes. He might have said something to the officials that ended his evening. Wow, what a swing. So Rivers gets the gate, and we'll see if they're going to give him a 2 and a 10, which is likely because they don't want to completely determine the game with the power play. It looks like he was just given the 2 minutes on the scoreboard. So it's going to be 4-on-3 for 23 seconds. Oh, it's a double minor now. So 4 minutes on the board for Rivers. So the Dashers will be a man up. Oh, it's going to be hard to figure out how it all shakes out. But it looks like they'll be 4-on-3 for 23 seconds. Then Motor will get back Blaisdell. And then a minute after that, they'll get Malat, and it will be a power play the rest of the game. So here you go. A lot of ice out there. Let's see if the Dashers can find a quick one here. Levac and Gullo to do the face-off. I can only imagine the conversation they're having as Levac wins this one. McGill Diaz will send it to length. 2 minutes for slashing and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct in addition to the slash, and then 10 minutes for going off over on the officials as McGill Diaz flips this one on out. So you got to understand, too, Parker Rutherford probably will be pulled at some point in the next couple minutes. So it might be a 6-on-4 for the Dashers shortly, but they'll still try and do something with this 4-on-4. Levac shoots off the crossbar. Oh, my goodness. A really good rip from the big centerman. And he rings one off the crossbar, and now the Dashers will get ready for another offensive zone draw. Levac with room to shoot is very scary coming at you at 6'3", 200 plus. Sewardson to take the face-off once more. Prexler, Gagnon, and Madyarov out there for the Dashers. 43 seconds until Malat comes in, and then a 2-minute power play to end the game for the Dashers. Gagnon's pass got all the way through the blue line. Madyarov couldn't find a way to reel it in. And Rutherford will settle it back down for the rookie. Madyarov back on over to Gagnon. Gagnon gains control of the line, gives it back to Madyarov over the blue line. Drop pass for Prexler. Prexler shoots. Save Gonzalez, still free. They score! It's Madyarov! Who else? His 6th goal of the weekend ties the game late. And it's 1-1. Home crowd is buzzing. Wow. Madyarov has just been a monster. And Paul McLean has been feeding his hot hand, giving him more shifts, giving him more minutes, giving him those special teams opportunities, and he just continues to deliver. Wow. Ties the game late. And the Dashers still are going to have a power play opportunity to end the game. Will they do it in regulation? Motor City needs an overtime win to punch their ticket. They need 2 of a possible 3 points. They can inch closer, taking the game to overtime. Of course, if they win either in regulation, shorthanded, or if they win an overtime or a shootout, they'll go dancing. I'm sure there's a bunch of HC Venom players and fans tuning in to see exactly what the rest of their season is going to look like. Shout out to Trey Fisher and Nikolai Salov, former Dashers, who I'm sure are tuned in. Prexler out to Erdman. Erdman shoots. Save Gonzalez, still free. Prexler pinches it back down low. Might have got hit up high. And now the Dashers are going to go to work. The power play will spill over 39 seconds into overtime if the game goes to overtime. So, I mean, if you're the Dashers, you've got the opportunity. You've got the chance to do it. Can you deliver? Listen to him. Gentleman in front of me got the Madyarov jersey from the auction last night. I bet you he's pretty thrilled with his purchase. Brazen shoots, and he missed the net. Trying to go far side on Gonzalez. Out to Malat now. Malat, slap pass to Brazen in the circle. Brazen a little trouble handling it. He'll settle to get it back down low to Mo Levac. Levac on the end line. Gets it back to Horn. Over to Malat once more. Malat over for Horn again. Horn back for Malat. Malat shoots, tipped in front, and it goes over the net. Horn back for Levac. Levac trying to center one, instead hangs and patiently gives it back to Horn. Over to Malat again. 1:25 to go here in regulation. Malat thought about going to Brazen and elects to hold on to it. Squirts through. Back to Malat at the blue line off a rocker. O'Reilly. Pass out of the reach of Levac. Back over from Horn to Levac. O'Reilly pinches down low to free up the puck once more. Levac back over to O'Reilly, who bumps it to Horn. Horn shoots. Save Gonzalez. Over 1,000 people in attendance for tonight's game. The second largest crowd, trailing only opening night. And we know what happened that night. Will the Dashers be able to do it again? One goal apiece. 65 seconds to go in regulation. Minute 44 in the power play. That will carry into overtime and make it 4-on-3 for a bit. If there is overtime. Prexler out to Gagnon. Some critical face-off wins for the Dashers. Now Uturo down on all fours, knocks it away from Nick Gullo, who might have had a breakaway in shorthanded. Miguel Diaz sends it up and out of the zone. 45 seconds to play in period 3, the final game inside the David S. Ballmer for the Dashers this season. Gagnon back over to Prexler. Here come the boys in black across the blue line. Here's Prexler through the circle, holding. Hits the brakes once more. Inside 30 seconds to go. Uturo for Gagnon. Gagnon holding. Back over to Prexler in the near circle. Goes up to Gagnon at the point. Gagnon for Prexler. Inside 20 seconds to play. Gagnon, one-timer! And it missed everything. Funky bounce off the wall. Rothy settles it. Out to Uturo once more. Gagnon calls for it. He's got it. He shoots it! Flutters over the crossbar. Oh, goodness. Gagnon almost had it right there. 3 seconds to go. And this game is going to be headed back to overtime. We're going to wait for Tommy B to say that. Well, you really can't go wrong with what you've seen here this weekend. Motor City with a defiant win on Friday, 8-2. Last night, the Dashers with a game of the year win at 7-6 in a shootout. And now, Chris Corrigan will have another 40 seconds to serve the Eli Rivers penalty. Dashers will be 4-on-3 until that expires. And then we'll be headed back to 4-on-4 until a whistle. Then it'll be 3-on-3 once again. Credit to Parker Rutherford and Rico Gonzalez, two goaltenders who have played their hearts out. I think the Rutherfords are, the 8 Rutherfords over on the far side probably all have their hearts beating out of their chest. I'm sure every one of their heart rates is over 100 beats per minute. Let's get a shot of the Rutherfords real quick. Watching their son, brother, and everyone down in the corner there, all lined up. But you can tell they're pretty stressed out. Excited to see what overtime brings, though. Yeah, but both Rico Gonzalez and Parker Rutherford have done enough for their teams to win this game. Let's see if we can get some updated shot totals for you. In the third period, the shots were 14-4 in favor of the Dashers. 42-38 in the game in favor of the Rockers. They outshot the Dashers 24-9 in period 1, so that's why they still have the lead. Paul McLean is going to pick his best 4, you'd think, or at least 4 suited for the situation. We didn't see Justin Brazen or Mo Levac in overtime at all last night. And some people are probably a little curious as to why. And unfortunately, at the risk of, well, they are going to start here tonight because it is a power play, but they're definitely not the fastest guys on the ice. And if there's speed on the other side of things, it could lead to some trouble. But they're going to start things off here. Dashers have not won an overtime game this season. They're 0-2 in overtime. We're underway. The crowd is into it. Gagnon swings it back over to Horn. Horn for Gagnon. Gagnon will gain the line. He's got room. Gets it back to Horn. Horn for Brazen. Back to Levac. Levac at the circle for Brazen. They continue to play catch. Levac goes over to the middle a little bit more. Back over to Gagnon. Gagnon for Brazen. Brazen shoots! Save Gonzalez. The rebound is held onto. 13 seconds to go on Eli Rivers' double minor. He was given a slash and unsportsmanlike conduct, and then finally a 10-minute misconduct for abusive officials under 5 minutes in a game. So without one of their best offensive threats, we'll see who Motor can have step up here if they want to find a way to win today. Levac wins it back to Gagnon. Gagnon will hold on to it above the circle. Over to Brazen. For Gagnon, the one-timer! Gonzalez makes the save. And that might have caught him in a bit of the meat, where the pads are not, because he is hunched over in some pain. Bryn Sommerfeld, who played last night, is the backup goaltender. Gonzalez looks like he just needs a minute to get his wind back. Levac, Horn, Gagnon, and Brosnan remain out there. Opposite of them, Hunter Hall, Jamison Milam, and Nick McGill-Diaz. Brosnan over to Gagnon with room at the circle, shoots, save Gonzalez in front. Oh, Levac couldn't bear it on the back door. What a feed from Horn, and then Brosnan with a big hit in overtime. But it's a 3-on-1 for the Rockers the other way. Closing in, Corrigan shoots, Corrigan scores. Motor City is playoff bound. The Rockers take this one in overtime right after the penalty expired. Corrigan finishes a 3-on-1, and Motor City is going dancing. Parker Rutherford obviously going through a lot of emotions down in the crease. Ready to be consoled by his teammates now. What a hockey game. They needed extra time. The Dashers take 3 of a possible 9 points in the weekend. Motor City collects the other 6. And that's how the re-inaugural era of Dashers hockey ends inside the David S. Palmer. Some big hugs from his teammates.
Ladies and gentlemen, one last time here at home this season, your Dashers.
A lot of emotions. Nick Gullo hanging out at center. I mean, if you want to talk about class, take a look at Nick Gullo. With his former team, giving them all hugs and embraces. There's him and Mo Levac messing around. But he is just really a class act. As the Dashers are going to skate off around the wall and salute the fans for the final time here inside the David S. Palmer. There's a post-game skate with them after, which I'm sure will be a little more somber than some would have liked. An overtime win would have been pretty cool. There's 2 games left for these guys this season. They're in Virginia against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. The playoff picture has been set for Motor City. So now the Venom are officially out. The 4 teams that will not be going to play in extra time or in postseason. Look at Justin Brosnan consoling Parker Rutherford as those 2 skate off the ice together, arm in arm. Such a great captain for this team. He's meant so much over his 8 seasons in Danville, but the 4 teams out: Mississippi, Monroe, the Dashers, and the Venom. We're going to step aside and gather some thoughts here before we bring it back for one last Dashers Hockey Club postgame show from inside the David S. Palmer Arena. Stick with us. And we welcome you into the Dashers Hockey Club postgame show. My name's Devin Dobeck, along with you. Lincoln Mackin, my cameraman. Carson Brown, my producer. Came up just short. 2-1, a loss in overtime for the Dashers. Chris Corrigan, the hero, sends Motor City to the playoffs. Congratulations to them and all their fans who were along with us for this 3-game set this weekend. They definitely made it interesting. An 8-2 victory for the Rockers on Friday. Dashers in a shootout last night, 7-6, but the Heroics burned out, and the Dashers fall in this one, 2-1 in overtime. A thrilling game. Scoring opened very late. Third period in the middle of the frame. It was Cody Oakes opening it unassisted with a beautiful play. Shot from the high slot to beat Rutherford over the blocker. Made it 1-0. Ilner Madiarov later in the game on the man advantage or 4-on-4 either or ties the game at 1. And it looked like the Dashers were going to be shaken out to have some sort of more dramatics and more magic in overtime. But with 40 seconds remaining on a 4-on-3 power play, they had their chances, a couple chances on the back door, and nothing could find the back of the net. The other way, just when Motor City made it 4-on-4 once again, a 3-on-1 results in Chris Corrigan lighting the lamp, and he sends the Rockers to the playoffs. A 2-1 final here once again. But it's been a fun season from inside the David S. Palmer. Thank you to everyone who's been along with myself, Devin Dobek, every step of the way. Really just an unbelievable experience and journey it's been, despite what the record may say. Still 2 more games in Blue Ridge that I'm looking forward to being along with you for, but what a special time it was. Going to try and give a few shout-outs here to people around the team, around the arena that have really made an impact for us and made the journey as smooth as it possibly could be. So stick with me here. I'm going to try and remember everybody, but I'm sure I'll forget some. Huge shout out to our front office, Jessica Mitchell, general manager. She stepped up and really has helped us get through this season. Appreciate all of her efforts. Her husband, Scott, our in-venue host, who really has been an X factor on the ice, bringing entertainment. The Musgroves, Matt and Dylan. Matt, of course, the equipment manager for the Dashers. Dylan, who's an assistant equipment manager. He'll throw T-shirts out. He's been a joy to be around as well. Carson Brown, my producer, of course. Kevin Brown, the off-ice official. The Waterman brothers, Tim and Jim, off-ice officials. Roger over there in between the glass. Just so many traditions and little things along the way in these 24 home games that I've had the opportunity to take part in. Just the handshakes, the fist bumps before the game. A lot of really cool stuff. And certainly it was a tough one, and we didn't like the way it ended. Some more shout-outs, of course. All 3 head coaches. AJ Tesserero, I've grown to be really good friends with him, and it was a pleasure when he was here in Danville. Definitely going to be staying in touch with him, and we'll be playing some Chell later, I'm sure. Steve Esau, it was a pleasure to get to know him. Unfortunately, we couldn't deliver him a win, but I'm wishing him the best of luck in the rest of his future endeavors. And, of course, Paul McLean, the current head skipper, picked up his 2nd win for the Dashers last night, and it was really just unbelievable. A really cool night. To the boys, of course, my roommate, Justin Brosnan, my newest roommate, Mo Levac, they've really taken me in, and not a lot of broadcasters kind of have the rapport that I get to have with these guys, and I'm very blessed and very fortunate for that experience and everything. The Dashers Booster Club, spearheaded by Tara Otter and Scott Harold, they have been so influential in helping get the boys whatever they need, whether it be electrolytes or some sort of snacks, protein, or whatever. Oh, looks like our camera went out. Yep. Give me a second here, folks. I'm sorry. But continuing on here, just continuing with the shout-outs. I'm trying to think and see if I'm forgetting anyone. Terry Gaffney, of course, the rink manager at the David S. Palmer. Bruce Ford, who's always a joy to walk into in the morning. Coming every day for practice and just seeing him shaking his hands, sharing a few laughs. He's been someone that's really made things enjoyable. Manbat and Frank Nelson. Manbat is Wayne Bruce, so that's how that happens. Bruce Wayne, of course, Batman, Manbat, you get it. Neither here or there, but shout out to him and Frank for everything they've done to help with the travel and things in that end. To Don Lewis, who's stepped up to help us down the stretch here in the season and has really helped the guys make sure that they're on schedule with pay and equipment, and he's really stepped up to the plate. And a huge shout out to Don for making this be as smooth a journey as it could be amidst some of the turmoil off the ice. But I'm just about out of thank yous, of course, to the players and their families. The families have been very supportive. I get all your messages. I appreciate all the little things. It's been pretty cool to broadcast professional hockey, and I'm just so fortunate. It's really cool when you have a little 5-year-old running up to you asking for an autograph, pulling on your pant leg, and that's something I never really thought that I would get to do at this stage of my career. So it really has helped me live part of my dream. and I'm forever blessed. And, of course, to my family, my biggest supporters, Mom, Dad. You might not be seeing this in lifetime, but I know they're traveling home from Europe right now. Hope you guys are having safe travels. But I love you guys, and thank you for everything you've done for me, for my brother Brady, my grandparents, Bob and Lynn. You guys are awesome. I don't know what I would do without you guys. Seriously, it means the absolute world to me to have you in my corner every step of the way. To the fans, we've got a lot of great fans, and I could list off a laundry list of people that always are a joy to talk to, and little traditions and rituals, as I mentioned earlier. But thank you to all of them, to the Dashers fan page and all the stuff going on social media. I love getting all those heartwarming messages from you guys. You guys have been so nice to me, and I'm forever indebted to you for really willing me to continue to keep going on this journey. And who knows where we'll be headed next year. I really hope the Dashers are back, and who knows. I'm really hoping that there's a world in which I get to come back to the David S. Palmer and see everybody again. But what a season it was. I guess we'll wrap things up here with our final thoughts. Yeah. Just to everyone, I just look out, and it's just hard to not pick up even more and more names, looking all around, and it's just a lot to take in. But a tough 2-1 loss for the Dashers once again tonight. And once again, I'd like to dedicate this game to my friend Joe Baxter, who passed away earlier today, surprisingly and tragically. So my thoughts and prayers are with his family, and hoping that they stay strong. Joe, I know you're flying up there, and I really appreciate you, and I'm it's just been a lot. But yeah, let's wrap things up here. We got a post-game skate going on that I'm gonna go join in a bit. It's always fun to get out skated by some 7-year-olds, so gonna go out there. But thank you to everyone, even people I left out, and I apologize if I did. You know how much you mean to me, helping me along this journey. But Dasher Nation, as always, on behalf of my entire media team, for my cameraman, Lincoln Mackin, for my producer, Carson Brown, this is Devin Dobeck, the voice of the Dashers, saying so long, and always remember to live the dream.